But
So
I might
they're
have gone overboard.
sending me free things. Why would you be sorry for
That's
giving
why I
me?
was like, I'm not sorry. I'm just telling you. Like, I was like, oh, things you can only get in Texas.
I'm so excited.
Awesome. All right. Well, I've clicked go live, so I'm assuming that this will start very soon.
It's the usual crew.
Hey,
baby.
Izzy.
I
It
got my
is.
notification already. That was really quick.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh, good. Yeah. So Izzy is one of the reasons behind this live stream. So yay.
Woo.
Hi, Melissa.
Hey.
Yeah. Now I was even professional and set up little banners. So it depends where we want to start. I suppose I should little banners. I suppose I should say that this came about because we were in a live stream and we got distracted and started getting asked questions about Aussie things, and we just decided to put it all into one video. So feel free to
super weird because
ask
we never
questions.
get distracted. We are always like super on top
I
of
know
all of our lives.
So I guarantee we're going to stay completely on task and on topic today.
3 experts, 1 expert.
That's right.
And,
why
2
Megan are here
Americans.
and I are here is unclear.
No, but
yeah.
No, but you are here to let me know if something. Well, here's the thing, because I suppose we get access to things so easily now. Like I forget what is actually Australian and what is not. So
we're gonna
you
compare
can
Australia
clarify.
to like Northern America, Canada, and
America?
then like Southern America, Mexico. Because I feel like that's
we're
where
both
we
in
are.
the United States, but we're like quite.
But you're a Yankee because you're above the Mason-Dixon line, as my grandpa would say.
We're
He's like, don't go above the Mason-Dixon. And I was like, okay, Grandpa, I'll stay here. And now I'm stuck in Texas.
No, literally, you are supposed to go north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Nope. Them darn Yankees live there. You stay below the Mason-Dixon. And I'm like, okay, Grandpa.
It's okay.
I think
Correct
Grandpa
away.
had some issues. I'm not going to lie to you. That sounds like terrible advice.
Look, my family has been in Texas so long it was Mexico.
Listen,
like, we've
Steph
been
is
here.
trying to take charge.
There is
of
a
the
dog
tribe,
that we
you
must
will
pay
not
attention
shut up.
to, Heather.
Hang on, where am I going to put? Benny's here and he's not very happy about it. So I thought he was going to sit behind me on the blanket, but he's apparently
Just
not.
because he
So
does that every day of his life doesn't mean he's going to do it during live.
no.
Yeah, it is.
A popcorn event. Well, I do have snacks, so that's handy. So where do we want to start? Because I had questions and things around. I was just saying before to these guys, food, real animals, myths and legends.
I would say how do you have it organized?
Food, money.
So just go
Okay,
down
we should
your-
start with what is the weather outside currently, as it is not 100 degrees like it is here.
No, it is. It was sunny about 20 minutes ago, which is basically Melbourne. It was sunny and now it's not, so it's freezing outside. Well, it's 7.8 Celsius, but our overnight minimum was like 4 degrees, so it's been pretty cold.
It's been like the 40s Fahrenheit.
Okay, yes, 46.04.
Yeah, I lived in
United
another
States.
country and I know a little bit of Celsius. I can round because my thermostat was in Celsius.
I like understand the concept, but no, I have to look it up. I googled it.
Zero is our freezing.
Yeah,
right. 100 is boiling, right? Is that true?
Yeah, 100 is boiling. 0 is freezing.
So I know
my house was at about 25. So I was like, my house
so if you
was
got
25-ish, so it means it's 70-ish, 70 mid
so if
70s.
you guys, and if you guys are at about 100 degrees, that's about 40.
No. Megan's at 100 degrees.
No, but I'm just saying in general.
55.
Yeah, it's about, it was like 45-ish Celsius the other day because it was at like almost 110.
Yeah. Here in Melbourne, probably the lowest we get might be about -1 or 2, and like in the city part, and then we can get up to 45, 46 degrees in summer, which is atrocious because we have
snow?
absolutely no breeze. Outside of this, we don't get any in the city at all. So we get to freezing, but no snow. We just get really cold rain. We get hail.
Oh, I hate hail.
years and years ago, I remember we had this amazing hail. It looked like snow. It was that thick on the ground. But yeah, we don't really get hail here. But you can drive an hour out of Melbourne and you'll be in snow. If Benny is
where
Benny is a wuss, so no.
For people who have no geographical understanding, which part of Australia are you in, and how is the weather?
North, south, east, west, center.
Yeah, I'm southeast, so hang on, let me bring up a map. I'll show you guys.
So you're far away from the United States. You're
I am.
Closer to California than Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so Australia is it's almost the same. It's only a little bit smaller than the actual size of the US, but we have far less states and territories.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's bring up a map because clearly I am not organized. I had other things organized.
You are organized. It's just some of us don't
Heather.
know what I'm talking about. So no, you have to bring up visual.
Window.
Visuals.
I'm just going to go Google.
So
I'm
Izzy.
So I'm that little red state down the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. And if I go, hang on, let's go. Stop Google. Let's go Google Maps. Okay, so Melbourne City is the lighter part. So that's Greater Melbourne. If we go in, don't live on that side. So I'm currently over here in Doncaster. And
how far away from the ocean are you?
What's that ocean right there that you're touching?
No one asked you, Megan.
No, good question. So that area is Port Phillip or Port Phillip Bay. And then if you come out of that, so that's where you have to travel. Like if you want to go to Tasmania, which is another state, you have to cross Bass Strait, which is you can fly there, but you can also do a boat crossing from Port Melbourne to Tassie. So, and that's freezing. Like so if we Tasmania is closer to New Zealand than the rest of us. And then that's Antarctica there.
Whoa, I didn't realize you were that close to Antarctica.
Yeah, so you are in the cold part of Australia.
Yeah, but we get really cold and we get really hot, and really dry where we are. And then the rest of Australia, hang on, let me go out again. So most people live on the outside edge of, it's more populated around the coastlines, most densely populated on the eastern side, so Melbourne, Tassie through to Queensland. The centre is literally desert. People do, there are communities that still live in the desert, but mostly on the coastlines.
Now, while you're on Google Maps, how far are you from Cancun?
Let's go.
I'm trying to come up with a central meeting place.
Cancun is, I don't think, a central meeting place at all.
Hang on.
I mean, the ocean is a central meeting place, so we obviously can't meet there.
The Pacific.
Yeah, so it's about 18 hours from Melbourne to Los Angeles on a plane.
No.
No, it'd be probably closer to 20 to 24 to Cancun, probably, because that's on the other side where the Gulf Coast is.
Yeah, so both times that I've flown in, I'll just stop sharing the map. Both times I flew from Melbourne to New York, but I had to stop in LA, so it was about 20-something hours of plane flights.
It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Brisbane is a lot warmer than Melbourne. It's much more temperate than here, and also, but it's the closer you get to the top of Australia, you get more tropical climates as well.
Mm-hmm. I would never drag a random dog.
Yeah.
I love how she's just
Hawaii
like
could be.
wax out in midair. Like Hawaii would be midpoint. Like, I don't know that.
I don't know where Hawaii is.
No,
It's a look. It looks like it's a. No, I've just Hawaii's a tiny little dot on that map. It's about half. It's
really
just over halfway. Yeah. So yes, that's where I am. I'm right at the bottom of Australia.
All I know is that
most of the time,
if I turn on ESPN during football season in the middle of the night, they're playing a game in Hawaii because of the time difference. That's all I know.
Yeah.
The look on Heather's face is like, why are you like this?
Yeah, actually, this is the other thing. Bianca makes a really good point. Like, you can travel anywhere. Like, I can travel 6 hours in Victoria, and we're one of the smallest states, and I don't leave the state. Like, it's
okay, same.
Yeah, it's huge.
I mean, I can go
and like we're the smallest
one direction, but I can go 20 minutes in another direction and be out of the state. So it just depends.
Oh, pretty much any direction. It's going to take like 12 plus hours to get out of the state.
Yes, we all know Texas is bigger and better.
I mean, I wouldn't say better, but it is bigger. Let's be fair. As someone who lives here and understands that Ted Cruz is our representative.
We're not talking about Texas. We're talking about Australia.
And Australia's better. Except for y'all have real scary animals.
Yeah, I've got some of those already up to. I don't need to search for them. I searched for them before because that was one of the questions. Yeah, I've never been to Hawaii because every time I've flown, it's just straight through to LA. Or the last time when I came out of when I went to Canada and I flew back, I flew through. Where's your other international airport? Is it Houston?
Mm-hmm. Houston and Dallas.
Yeah, sorry, Dallas. It was Dallas that I flew out of. So I flew from Toronto to Dallas and then Dallas to Sydney to Melbourne, which
right.
I don't appreciate doing more than 2 plane flights in a row. But anyway.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yes, there are poisonous snakes. Well, they can be around where I am. So there was one time right near the school, we've got a lot of parkland, and we took the kids down to one of the big parks down there that they really like, and then we had to subtly move them away from one corner because there was a snake in the park. Like you can find them in backyards. It's not super common in urban areas because they actually don't really like people, so they'll avoid high traffic areas. My parents are currently up 2 hours away in a place called Tatura, which is rural Vic, on my auntie's farm. And they'll have brown snakes out there all the time, and they are very poisonous. So you want to avoid them. But I mean, you're used to them in country areas because there's a lot more space. But, they don't actually like to be around people. It's like a lot of our wildlife. Because I know, one of Melissa's questions were, do we actually see kangaroos around? Like I can occasionally see maybe wallabies down in the local parkland near my place, but it would probably only be early morning or evening when there's less foot traffic. They won't hang around if there's too many people, but not in major urban areas. Like, this is real parkland. Like, there's not much around.
Right.
So
for in a house or in a school, what pests do you have to worry about coming in?
Spiders, cockroaches. I hate spiders.
I hate roaches.
I think that was hang on. Who asked that question? There was someone else who asked about. Izzy asked what the scariest animal to me is. It's always spiders because they're creepy as all get out. The one that I see. Hang on, let's see if I can find where I put it. Although you probably won't thank me for seeing. So we have like redbacks and white-tailed spiders, which are reasonably dangerous. But this one is not so much dangerous as it just is creepy as all get out.
Oh, no, thank you.
It's a huntsman spider. Yeah. So that's a huntsman spider. We tend to get them in the. Right? So we get them in the school a lot, which is really distressing. This is the one that one of my colleagues was trying to flick an elastic band out to get it off my roof. It's like, no, thank you. I do not want that dropping on me. That travel day was not my finest thing. And I actually managed to upgrade, like I had enough points to upgrade from economy to business class from Sydney to Melbourne, which is only like an hour flight. But just to have, just to not be stuck in another tiny seat was so worth it. Because otherwise it's very expensive.
Right.
Yeah, like the brown snakes are aggressive if they're provoked, but if you leave them alone, you just don't want to spook them. Same with most snakes. Like you can see they do.
Do you have a lot of poisonous animals or just like a select few?
Oh, I think we do, but I think people overestimate how often you see them in really high traffic places.
Right.
Oh no. I have a really funny story about this. So there was a huntsman that was on the roof of my building at work, and we have super high ceilings. And for ages, I was telling my boss, this is like a few years ago, he's left now, but one of my bosses, I kept saying, there is a spider up there. We need to do something, get rid of it, because it's going to drop on the kids, because it was a central traffic space. And he kept going, no, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. He's walking through a group of grade 1 kids, so 7-year-olds, through the building. This thing nearly lands on his head and just slowly descending down, like, you have to move. Like, yeah. Huntsmen's and they like to live in, a lot of people find them in their cars. They get into the cars and then they sit in the visor. And when you drop the visor down, I've heard so many stories of them dropping on people.
Oh,
like,
I could not.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, they do get really big. So I was reading, like they can have a leg span of up to 15 centimeters, which is
about 7 inches, 7 to 8 inches.
Yeah, so they could they can get really big. Like they're not actually super poisonous. Like they're not going to really bite you. They're just scary as all get out. Like they look gross.
That's what
tarantulas. So yeah, spider. Yeah, we have a lot. We do have different types of tarantulas here, but I haven't really seen them. The worst spiders though are funnel webs, which you mostly get in Sydney. They're really quite poisonous and can be really aggressive. I think we might have some of them here, but in Melbourne, but I don't really see them. Redbacks are not particularly great because they're quite poisonous as well. But you can usually see them coming because they're black with a red back. So at least you can tell what they are. And I think I was looking up whitetails were thought to be really poisonous, but I'm probably getting a bad rap from other things. So I don't know. I just avoid them if possible. And yeah, no.
Good
no
call,
spiders for me.
Yeah.
All right. What else do we have? Oh, now I think we did scary animals. We did kangaroos. Now, one of my friends, Leanne, who's Novel Menagerie here, we have this conversation all the time around bin chickens. So colloquially, you'll hear the term bin chicken, usually I think mostly New South Wales. They're basically an ibis, and they're a bit like a pigeon in New South Wales. Well, sorry, they don't look like a pigeon, but they behave like a pigeon in that they will constantly go into the public rubbish bins or wheelie bins on the street or whatever and take out rubbish. Like they're just, hang on. It's one of those funny things. And hadn't heard the term when I was younger, but yeah, they behave a little bit like That's a good question. I can't remember. I did live in. I lived in. Yeah, a bin chicken. They're bigger than a pigeon.
They're like raccoons, but birds.
Yeah,
basically. Yeah. So we don't have raccoons, but we have bin chickens.
That's your trash panda.
That's your trash panda.
Chickens. Nice.
That's funny. To me, that looks like a water bird.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
Birds that are shaped like that are water.
Yeah, like I think you can probably find them around sort of the coastline in Sydney. So Sydney is well, you have Sydney Harbour as well, so you'll find them around there near the water. So yes, weird animals. Okay.
Wait, what's the difference between Aussie rules football and American rules football? Someone just asked, do you watch Aussie rules football or rugby? And I was like, there's a difference.
So if you're from Victoria, typically speaking, you follow AFL, so Aussie Rules Football, or the Australian Football League, which I forget how many teams they have now, because I don't actually watch any sport. But if I'm going to follow, I have an AFL team that I follow, so I follow Carlton or the Blues, and then each state has a football team that's represented in the league, and then in Melbourne we've got like, I don't know, I want to say like 8 teams for different parts of Melbourne, but don't quote me because I really don't pay that much attention. Rugby is really big, Sydney, New South Wales. We also have the soccer league, which has gained a lot more has become more prevalent in terms of being broadcast and all that sort of stuff probably in the last 15 years. Melbourne is typically a very sport-heavy state. Like, you go into the city and pretty much there's sports stadiums everywhere. So our most popular stadium is the MCG, or the Melbourne Cricket Ground, which they play cricket and AFL on. There's a whole lot of other football grounds for that. We have the tennis centre, and all that's really close by. So there's a big sporting district just outside the central CBD. Why are you disappointed that it isn't rugby? I don't watch any football, because even because we have rugby league and rugby union as well. So, and don't ask me the difference between the two of them, because I don't know. I think for memory, because it's not the same as American football. It's still different to that.
Like, we have rugby, it's just not like one of the
super
main
popular
sports.
I mean, I now want an AFL romance novel, so if you have one, please let me know.
I did find one. There's one on KU that I think I'm going to read. There's a couple. I'll have to send them through. I don't know what they are off the top of my head.
Please do.
Yes, I want to know. I just finished rereading Intercepted, and now I'm like, give me sports.
Yeah. Yeah. So like AFL. So AFL.
Shh, don't speak. Listen. Listen, I just read 2-Minute Warning by Alexander Warren. If you like NFL football, really good, especially if you don't mind Insta Love. But she's like an actual football fan. So like, if you know the game, you're going to be like, okay, this is accurate. But even if you don't, it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I know so many people. Like, if my dad was here, I could get him to explain the difference. But
Right.
Yeah, Nalini Singh does have her rugby series, which I quite liked.
I feel like
she has a rugby series.
Yeah, hard play. So she's got her contemporary romance books. I was just going to say, on the AFL side of it, AFL, they're not allowed to run with the ball. Like, they're allowed to run a little distance, but you have to kick the ball, and to score, you have to kick it through giant posts at the end. So
like a
but it's
like a field goal,
but it's an oval
time.
But the ball looks very much like a rugby ball in terms of shape. It's a little bit different, but it's basically
it's a fatter oval.
And they have to,
no, I actually think oval.
I think it's skinnier. But yes, they have to be able to kick it through goalposts. But the really nice thing though is sort of in the last little while, the women's league has become really, really big, and it's got a lot more support. And because AFL is we have inter-school sports. So the Year 6 kids play sport against other schools, and there's usually 3 or 4 choices. And AFL is one of the ones that our kids play, and they now have, they play with mixed teams, where previously girls couldn't play. So
Gotcha.
I'm very happy that that's happened. Even though I don't follow it, I'm just glad that that's a thing.
Right.
Yes, Bluey is a great place to learn Australian things.
I know.
It's actually it's a great show. I haven't watched much of it, but it's fairly accurate. For
your school, what is I can't find my words. We have elementary, middle school, high school. Do you have like the same type of breakdown for age groups, or no?
So it's a little bit different. So before they start school, they have 3-year-old and 4-year-old kinder. Then, I will say it's slightly different between states. So in Victoria, we have 3 and 4-year-old kinder. Then they have primary school, which is foundation to year 6, or depending in some states, that's called kinder to year 6, but we call it foundation. And so I teach foundation, and that is from 5 years to, well, they have to turn 5 by the end of April to be able to start school that year. So, and the year goes from the end of January to end of December. And then they go to high school, so year 7 to year 12. Some school, like you can have what we call P to 12 schools, so they do the whole range, and they might break up the campuses a little bit differently, but typically you have kinder, primary, and secondary school or high school.
So your school year makes sense, unlike ours, which is it starts August, September, and goes to May, June.
Well, because I was thinking about this, so yes, it probably makes more sense because we're following a calendar year rather than a seasonal year, but we still go end of summer to start of summer, which is kind of what you guys do. But your breaks are a little bit different. So your summer, I think you have less, your kids have less breaks in the middle of the year to what we do, because we go anywhere between 9 to 11 weeks, then a 2-week break. And then, so all of, like we have 4 terms each, somewhere between 9 and 11 weeks long, and then breaks. And then summer is about 4.5, 5 weeks long for us.
I mean, that sounds much better than like basically almost a 30-year year in the summer being off. And
yeah, that makes it hard.
You get 2 weeks for Christmas and then a couple days for every other holiday, except for spring break.
I get it. It's nice for us because our Christmas, and I'm just going to move Benny because my foot's falling asleep. We follow small spaces. We get more time off for Christmas and New Year, and then we have most of January off. But yeah. What have we got? Oh, there you go. There's another NFL. That's rugby.
There was like one rugby one I read. It was British. It was, don't remember what it was. It was like the player and the something. I can't remember. It was part of a series. I don't remember. It wasn't the player and the pixie. That was like number 3 in the series, but it was something like that. The baller and the something. I don't remember.
Oh, the Beauty of the Baller?
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
Oh, that's because that's another one that's coming out.
No, it's one that came out like a while ago. So that's not it.
Okay. So moving on. Oh, Paige is from Sydney. She asked potato cake or scallop. This is a real Sydney. Well, Sydney versus
I don't know
Melbourne.
what that means.
Actually, that's another thing.
It too.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm going to say usually Sydney and Melbourne have this unspoken, well, it is a spoken about rivalry where you just hang shit on each other, basically. So a potato cake is something you might get when you get fish and chips. So it's basically potato that's been flattened and deep fried. So I call it a potato cake because that's what I know from Melbourne, but I know in New South Wales they call it a potato scallop. So if anyone else is here from other parts of Australia, you'll have to let me know what you call it in your part of the country. So it's literally just flattened. It's like a giant potato chip, but it's round and very deep fried. It's very tasty.
See, for me, I think of like a potato pancake or scalloped potatoes. Yeah. I don't think.
Yeah, I think.
Well, to me, scalloped potatoes is made differently, and I think that's just culturally how I've grown up with it. Scalloped potatoes is usually a very cheesy dish.
Yeah, that's what ours
bake in the oven.
Yeah.
Whereas, this would be like a potato pancake, but we just call it. We shorten everything. Potato cake makes sense. Mm-hmm. Makes sense to me. Izzy asked, "Is it weird being upside down?" No, I would have no different. no idea that I was upside down.
Work.
Like it's, that's the nice thing about gravity. It doesn't really make a difference. And she also asked, and she made a good point. These are kind of the funny questions. Do the toilets flush backwards? I did some, 2-minute information gathering with the 2 toilets that are in my parents' place. One goes anti-clockwise and the other doesn't spin in any direction at all. And I can't remember what mine does at home. I think it's anti-clockwise. So I don't know if that's the same for you guys, but.
I don't think so. I think ours goes clockwise.
You know?
Yeah.
Mentally
it
picturing a toilet flushing.
Yeah, I literally had to think of it, and I was like, yeah, no, it goes clockwise. It goes clockwise.
Yeah. So one of them here goes anti-clockwise. I think my one at home is anti-clockwise as well. I don't think about it. I know it's like a running joke that people are very confused by it. I'm like, I would imagine that's possibly because we're upside down, but I don't know. What else Oh, okay. So I think we talked a little bit about
drop bears.
Drop bears. Hang on, where's my screen? So drop bears are, spilling all the Australian secrets. Basically, we like to terrorize tourists. Like it's just a national sport of ours that we just like to terrorize people. Oh, good, Izzy. Well, you can let us know an update on the toilets. Hi, John. So they're basically because we just want to, scare the crap out of people. So drop bears started out as, if you're walking outside, you need to make sure that you're looking up. And if you see these really cute animals out during the daytime, don't walk underneath them because they might drop on you and they've got really sharp claws and things like that. Basically, it's like a play on the koalas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember seeing a picture of a drop bear, and it was a koala that was like drenched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not actually a real thing. But the funniest thing, I'm going to share my screen and I'll pop the link to this in the chat in a second. So the Australian Museum has this page on drop bears. And it looks, well, to adults, it doesn't look really credible, but we actually usually give it to sort of grade 4, grade 5, grade 6 kids when we're doing information text, because it's literally just to, play on the drop bear myth and coming up with the whole information sequence about these animals that don't exist, which is very Australian to have an entire page on a museum website about a fictional creature.
I love that.
So yeah, they were mostly just to tease tourists because we have
lofty ranges in Kangaroo Island.
My favorite is the map. I love the map.
I love the little bear.
Right in the middle where nobody lives and can verify.
Yep. Danger to humans. The urban legend focuses on bushwalkers being dropped on by drop bears, resulting in injury, mainly lacerations and occasionally bites.
Accidental.
So, yeah. So that's the drop bear. And then if I get rid of that banner. So I was looking up other urban legends, and let's get rid of that. There's the Bunyip, which it's funny because I grew up with stories, like fictional stories about bunyips, but apparently it's an actual urban legend. A mythical creature whose roar sent shivers up many local spines. So I think this one may have a basis in Dreamtime stories, but I don't know, so I'm not going to comment on that because I don't want to appropriate anything. I do need to spend a little bit more time learning about it. There's there's a picture of a drop bear that someone came up with, sharp teeth. There's also the Yowie, which I hadn't thought about for years because when I was a kid, they had Yowie chocolates, which I know I hadn't thought about this for ages. I thought they just made them up for a chocolate, but apparently it's an urban myth. The drop bears, and then there was the hoop snake, which was a snake that would hold its tail in its mouth and go careening down places after people. They're all just urban legends.
It would just turn into a wheel and spin at you.
Pretty much. I know
these are the types of things you would have to live with if Ilona Andrews' worlds came to life.
This is very true. So, when I was looking up I was just trying to find other stories about drop bears, and I went down a bit of a rabbit hole with all the old urban legends. But like we used to have, there is a picture book. Oh gosh, what's it called? Gosh, my memory.
I feel that pain.
The Bunyip of Berkeley's Creek is sort of like a urban legend tale that was turned into a kid's book that I had growing up. So yes, there you go. We've got our weird little creatures. But yes, they would totally belong in the Hidden Legacies world.
Mm-hmm. Or even like Kay Daniels, especially because either because of your locality, your location in the area that the myths existed, or because of your experience and lineage, you could bring them over to Atlanta or whatever.
Yeah, no, thank you. I don't need these to exist. We've got enough creepy things going on here. All right. I actually don't know, because I don't know how much slang I actually use myself. Like I have been known to walk around and say "G'day, mate," like just without even thinking about it. Like it's just something, and it's usually around family. We're like most of us all grew up in Melbourne, but it's just part of Australian culture. But I don't know if I use slang all that often, because there are some doozies, but because I don't use them often, I don't really know. So Aussies in the comments, you can let me know if there's something that you think of specifically.
Can you say something?
Is there anything
with, like, an exaggerated Aussie accent?
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. I don't know, because so what you're thinking of is an Ocker Australian accent. I don't know. How you going, mate? Is about as good as I can get, because I don't speak it. Like you can tell the difference between people who have a really sort of pronounced, more Ocker. Well, yeah. I call it Ocker Australian accent. That may or may not be politically correct now. I don't know.
I saw like a TikTok, and this girl her accent was so thick it almost sounded like Cockney.
Yeah,
but she was like from Australia, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Depends where you are from and what the standard Australian English is where you are from. Also, I mean, I've been fairly highly educated as well, and
right.
Oh yeah, how's it hanging?
I say how's it hanging.
The thing that you want.
I say how's it.
The thing
that's just like 90s slang.
Yeah, right. Vegemite on toast, mate.
Oh, what is the difference between Vegemite and Marmite, other than one is from England and one is from Australia?
I don't know. I've never had Marmite.
That's fair.
Yeah. That said, May's question. She's not here, so hopefully she can see this afterwards. So this is Vegemite. This is about the standard size that anyone in my family ever buys, and this thing lasts for about a year. This one, so my parents would have had. This is from my parents' place, so this one expires next month. So they would have had this probably for anywhere between sort of 6 to 12 months, and they've barely used it because it's strong. So I enjoy Vegemite, but you don't lather it on things because otherwise that is gross. Because it's super strong and it's very salty. So it's definitely an acquired taste. But the way, like if you're going to eat it, you have it on a dry biscuit, a dry cracker, or toast. I typically have it with butter, and I have to have more butter than Vegemite. Otherwise, it's not very nice. But it is like I grew up having it. So.
I feel like for people who aren't used to it, it's probably like how much you would use of like hot sauce, or like pepper relish. Like
less is more.
Like the same type ratio.
Pepper relish?
Okay, first of all.
I have no idea what that is. Is that a Yankee thing?
I think it actually might be a Pennsylvania Dutch thing or an Amish thing. But it's a hot pepper relish. It's delicious.
I've never heard of this in my entire life.
Maybe I'll have to send you a reverse care package where I send you hot pepper.
Good. Yeah, I was like, what is this thing?
Definitely do not coat anything with Vegemite. Less is more. And the butter ratio is incredibly important.
No, the key is you take a giant spoon of one and a giant spoon of other, and then you put them both in your mouth at the same time. I just wanted to see this.
Do you know what? It was so funny because I saw a TikTok video the other day, and it was a guy in Scotland who'd been sent Australian snack foods, including Vegemite. And for some reason in his head, and I don't know if he was just playing the fool or not, but well done to him for selling it. He thought it was some kind of chocolate spread, and the whole time I'm watching going, no.
I can see that.
It looks, God.
You don't smell it. It looks kind of like Nutella.
No. Right. But can you just imagine anticipating the taste of chocolate on your tongue?
Then, oh no.
Yeah, and here's it. Like, if you're going to try Vegemite, and there've been a few people that I've sent Vegemite to overseas, and I always send it with instructions. Like, this is how you eat it. You'll get people who are really mean, like these people, and you'll get people who like, no, because like if you like really salty things, it's not bad, but you just have to have it correctly, otherwise it's gross. Okay. Because I know the other day I made a sandwich with it, and I put too much Vegemite on it, and it was not as satisfying as I would have
I need to know, this is in my head, and it's been in my head since I was a child, and I need to know if this was like an ad that I just somehow got on a random television show. It was Vegemite, fun for morning, noon, and night. Is that a thing? Like, was that ever a thing? Because I don't know where that came from.
There is a Vegemite song, but that's not it. Ours is We're Happy Little Vegemites. It's great. Hang on. Happy Little... I can't remember the words. Anyway, it starts with We're Happy Little Vegemites. And there is a song for it.
Okay, because I don't know where it came from, but I know it's been in my head since I was a kid. I don't know if it was like in a cartoon or something.
It's probably a variation of what we had. We all enjoy our Vegemite for breakfast, lunch, and tea. Blah, blah. Yeah, there's a song.
What is
I can't remember the words.
Tea time?
Tea time?
Yeah.
Oh, dinner.
Okay. Tea is dinner? So if you say I'm gonna have, you don't have tea with me, it means you don't have dinner with me?
We wouldn't typically say tea now. Like, this Vegemite's been around for years, so that's a product of its time.
Okay. So I was thinking about, like, is it similar to Dr.
dinner.
Pepper time? Dr. Pepper times 10, 2, and 4. If you ever find a clock, if you find a clock that's like a Dr. Pepper brand clock, it will typically only have the numbers 10, 2, and 4. Because it was a marketing scheme, because a science thing came out that said during the workday your energy wanes at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 4 p.m. So Dr. Pepper was like, that's Dr. Pepper time. In order to get your pick-me-up, you drink a Dr. Pepper at 10, 2, and 4.
Fair enough. Well, Dr. Pepper's not a huge thing over here, so no, it's not a thing here. But like morning.
Have you had Dr. Pepper?
I have had it. I have had it. You can get it here. But like we would do, breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner is what we'd probably say now. Or like all the fancy people who don't have breakfast and have an early lunch and it's brunch.
What sodas do you have that we don't have? Like Scotland has Iron Brew.
We have Kirk's might be Australian.
I don't know what that is, so maybe.
Yeah, they tend to do like flavored, like passion fruit. We're going to talk about passion fruit in a minute. Passion fruit flavored drink, like flavored soft drinks. Because I mean, we have Coke, we have Pepsi. Some stores you can get things like Dr. Pepper. Next, there's another one that's doing sort of sugar-free alternatives.
Pop.
Yeah,
pop.
We call it. Well, we call it soft drink. So we don't call it pop or soda.
I'm in the place where everything's a Coke, so like I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very divided between pop and soda.
I think. Yeah, I think we have Kirk's, we have Schweppes. Do a lot of mineral water, like bubbly mineral waters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think those are probably no.
I think Seagram's was like the bubbly water that they had a lot of in Korea, which was weird because I didn't even know Seagram's had anything besides just like the typical seltzer you mix with, like alcohol.
Do we have that?
Yeah, we do use ice in drinks.
Oh, because y'all are like civil, normal humans. Because going to Britain and then being like, "What do you mean ice?" Like who
just what ice
in soft drink?
Yeah, but don't forget they They don't get very warm in the UK.
Yeah, but you can just stick your drinks like outside in the snow because it's freezing out there 24/7.
I don't do that either. I do not like cold drinks.
See, I hate hot drinks.
You're wrong.
If I'm going to have water or if I'm going to have a soft drink, I have to ice on it. It has to be cold.
Everything has to be cold.
Anything
My
else,
whole family is a cold family. Like my family drinks milk with ice. I don't because they're monsters.
No.
But like my family drinks milk
That's
with
weird.
ice. It is, right?
That is
I'm
weird.
glad it's not just me who thinks it's weird.
Steph,
I know
wanted
that's.
to know if
Heather
you
is
refrigerate
weird.
your eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah, do you refrigerate your eggs?
Oh yeah, do you put your eggs in the fridge or do you put them like in a basket on the counter?
I've always kept them in the fridge.
Me too.
My parents have always kept them in the fridge.
What about
And
you?
they're kept in the fridge in the supermarket, so I keep them in the fridge at home.
Everyone in the United States does, I feel like, but I also think in most
Unless you have
other
fresh
countries,
eggs.
you don't.
Yeah, fresh eggs are a little bit different. You might keep them out for a little
Yeah,
bit.
like if you have chickens, you typically will just put them on the counter.
Everyone I know with chickens keeps them in the fridge.
Really? People I knew with chickens just kept them on the counter, but they also used them within like 2 days. They would wash them off and then they would keep them on the counter like in a bowl.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my nonno, my mum's father, has chickens, and I think he keeps them, or when they collect them, they just pop them in cases because then his kids come and collect fresh eggs. So I don't think they're all kept in the fridge, but no, I keep mine in the fridge.
Me too.
May, I was going to say, you just missed me talking about Vegemite. To recap, yes, I enjoy Vegemite. Not everyone does, but you have to eat it properly, and I will send you the instructions.
Oh yeah.
So it's a
each to their own. I will not judge people, but it doesn't make sense
I also
to me.
find it weird, but I think it's also because I like will nurse everything for hours, and water milk is gross.
Yeah, that's true.
I am here, so it is a judgment zone.
Honestly, that's kind of true. That is Heather.
I will say
All right.
I do like ice in apple juice. And that's literally like the only thing that I will.
I will say I don't drink apple juice.
Fair enough.
No, it's.
I
not
drink
fair
tea.
enough, Steph. She's on like
Iced tea.
wrong on like every single thing that we brought
I am
up.
in the South. I drink iced tea.
Do you have a lot of kidney stones?
No.
Just you wait. It's coming for you.
Jesus. No, but I did try to switch my black tea for green tea one time. So I was like, oh, Southern sweet tea is bad for you. I'm going to make Southern sweet tea, but with green tea instead. And I did not realize what green tea does to your system. And I learned that the hard way.
All right. Okay, I have to share something because I talked about this in my most recent vlog. So I was reading Love and Other Disasters, and it's the cooking show thing, and they had the thing about, special ingredients, and the thing about passion fruit blew my mind. The fact that you guys have passion fruit flavored things and don't actually eat the fruit itself. So I don't think this is in season, but I found passion fruit in the supermarket, so I bought some. So this is a passion fruit for anyone who's never seen one. And this is what it looks like on the inside.
I've actually only ever seen the inside of a passion fruit. I don't think I've ever seen the outside of a passion
I think
fruit.
I just realized I was definitely envisioning dragon
fruit.
like the black and white speckled one. That was definitely what I was envisioning.
Yeah. So hang on. So it's kind of yellow, fleshy seeds inside. It's actually really nice to eat as a fresh fruit. But it blew my mind that people. Sorry?
Which part of the fruit do you eat?
Just the inside. Just the inside. So this
do you eat it like a pomegranate, like just the seeds, or do you eat it like a kiwi and you dig the whole inside out?
Well, there's not very much of it. There's less flesh on the inside than a kiwi fruit. So you just eat the seeds really, and the pulp around it. Yeah. And so it does, like, the outside looks like an avocado, but the skin's quite thick. And look, maybe I'll find an article that tells me you can eat the skin of a passion fruit, but I highly doubt it, like a kiwi fruit. But
how do you tell if it's ripe or not? Like, does it get
good
soft?
question. I've got.
Or...
I have no idea. I've just always eaten them. So we like as kids we'd get them mostly in summertime, and we just have them here, and Mum would cut them in half, and you just get a spoon and you scoop it out and eat it.
So you don't know.
Or
your mother
put
knows.
Probably.
You just play roulette with
I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I just live here.
Okay. I'm not saying you have to be an expert. Just like, how do you know to eat it or not? Like banana, avocado, tomato. Like
if it's in the supermarket, I'm going to assume that it's okay to eat.
Wait.
You
it lowers
only
your blood
get
pressure?
right things sold to you? Because that is
Sorry?
not how it works here.
Is that true? Because if so, I can't eat passion fruit because I might pass out.
I don't know, actually, because I have not heard.
What is a banana passion
you
fruit?
just
What are
can't
these
eat
people with
many.
these things?
Yeah, no, I don't eat too many of them. I don't actually have them all that often. But like it can be really nice to put over like dessert. So we might do like pavlova, or like you could have it on ice cream or things like that. Sometimes I make like passion fruit icing as well. I don't know what a banana passion fruit is.
Okay. I was like, what is this thing?
Heather, the way that I would know, so you can get passion fruits and they can be completely smooth, and then sometimes the skin gets a little, like you can press down on it and it gets a little bit wrinkly. To me, that's when I would probably eat it. I don't know if that is accurate.
A squishy fruit.
Does that make you feel better?
Yes, it's an indicator. It's not just Russian roulette.
Russian roulette with the fruit.
All fruits give indicators of whether they're ripe or not.
Look, I bought a watermelon from the supermarket the other day. Again, I'm not convinced that it's watermelon season, but there was one there, and it's already cut, and I'm like, I don't know if this is going to actually be sweet or whether it's going to have absolutely no taste, because did
you go knock and then listen to see if it tells you I'm ripe or not? Because I see a lot of people do that. It was confused about it.
No, because it's already cut into quarters, so you just buy a quarter. Like, I don't need a full watermelon. What am I going to do with it? I'm one person, so you can buy them in quarters. So I could see the flesh, like it looked. You can get star fruit here.
I've never had a star fruit.
I haven't either.
It is. It's really tasty. It's like it's nice. It's kind of sweet and tart.
I've had passion fruit juices, and I don't like them.
Yeah, like it blew my mind that some people had never even really seen one in person. So that's why
some people. You mean
I don't eat it all the time. Oh, don't worry. I was talking to Brie when I was reading the book. I'm like, are you seriously telling me?
I think I knew that there's passion fruit in Brazil. It's very like tropical. It's a tropical fruit.
It's a tropical thing. So I think ours will come from Queensland.
I did not realize the Accidental Romance blogger was in Brazil. I had no idea.
Cool.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I was like, I don't think I've ever had star fruit, but I do know I've had passion fruit drinks, and I was not a fan.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of like passion fruit soft drink, just because it doesn't taste like actual passion fruit.
I feel like we often get passion fruit in tea, like green tea.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you can get passion fruit tea too.
That's also not a thing I'm a huge fan of. Or dragon fruit. I don't think I'm a huge fan of. I don't really like tropical fruits. It took me a while to like mango and pineapple. I'm on the fence about guava and papaya.
All right. So the other thing that Izzy asked me was other snack foods that we have here that you may or may not have over there. So I went shopping. So this
no one called
could be
you.
Completely
you don't
wrong.
Get snack foods. My dog was like, food.
Oh, I'll come back to this in a second. So Tim Tams are delicious.
We have those here. You get them.
You do have them here. Cool.
They have them at Target.
That's fine.
They're very
my
rare.
favorite.
What does that look?
So
I keep saying it because Heather's looking at me like I'm crazy.
They're 2 chocolate biscuits with chocolate cream in the middle and then covered in chocolate. Very delicious. Actually, our chocolate is different to your chocolate. It tastes different.
What does your chocolate taste like?
I'm guessing less sugar.
Less
milk, more chocolate.
No, ours is sweet. Ours is a little bit sweeter. it's kind of hard to describe because I haven't had American chocolate for a while, but there is a difference in taste and there's a difference in texture. I think it's something to do with I can't remember. It'll come to me. There was something about it that was a little bit different. Yes, Tim Tam slams.
What is a Tim Tam slam?
I don't know what a Tim Tam slam is. I just know what a Tim Tam is.
I don't know if it means the same thing over there. A lot of people here will bite off opposite corners of the Tim Tam and then put it in their tea or their coffee and use it as a straw and drink the tea or the coffee through. I don't do that, Heather. Don't judge me. I'm just saying that's what some people do.
You've already lost me.
You do it with your ice milk.
Yeah. I don't know the answer to that question, Izzy, because I don't. Do I? It depends where you get the chocolate here. Okay, good. Okay, that's what it is. That's what a Tim Tam slam is. It does help to melt the chocolate in the middle. Tim Tams and a glass of port, John. We can get, we've got a whole lot of different flavors of Tim Tams now. So you can get caramel ones, you can get salted caramel ones, and they've got peppermint ones, you've got double coated chocolate. They're all over the place.
May. See, I'm not crazy. I was like, I swear I've seen them at Target. You can also get Vegemite and Marmite sometimes at World Market if you don't want to get someone to ship it to you.
I don't have World Market.
You don't have World Markets?
Mm-mm.
It's
you guys
basically
have Cadbury,
just a
right?
giant import store. If you go to, we have some Cadbury in local stores, but if you go to Indian or Middle Eastern markets, you'll typically find a lot more Cadbury, at least in my experience.
Like Cadbury eggs?
Like Cadbury
chocolate.
Like
Cadbury eggs.
Yeah,
Cadbury is probably our biggest chocolate brand here. So, when I was growing up, we'd get these, which were furry friends, and they have little Australian animals on them. They're just little blocks of chocolate.
That's adorable.
I know, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. Hang on. Check it out. They're nothing fancy, and there's nothing imprinted on the chocolate. But when you're a kid, this was the best thing to get because you get the Tassie Devil.
Aww.
It's a wombat, I think.
Oh, is the Looney Tunes Tasmanian Devil anything like an actual Tasmanian Devil?
No.
Okay.
But I love him anyway. Platypus. Talking about weird Australian animals. Platypus is a weird animal.
I love platypus or platypi.
So do I, but they're weird.
They make no sense.
So we have caramello koalas, which is literally chocolate filled with caramel.
I love chocolate filled with caramel.
Freddo frogs, which are just solid chocolate.
Dairy milk. Okay, yes, I know I've seen Cadbury actual chocolates at the Indian markets whenever I go get spices because it's dairy milk chocolate. It's purple like that.
Yeah. Do you guys have cherry ripes? Can't remember.
No, I have no idea what that is.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's basically a dark chocolate bar and it's filled with cherries and coconut in dark chocolate.
That sounds delicious. I don't know about Heather's face, but that sounds good to me.
It is very tasty.
I don't like fruit and chocolate, so don't
I've never
worry
seen
about
that
me.
either.
Yeah,
What about a big hunk? Have you had a big hunk, Heather? No, I'm just asking Heather.
I don't know what you're talking
It's
about.
literally just a giant nougat bar, and they're great when you put them in the freezer because then it's like crunchy nougat, and they're terrible for your teeth. But I have so many memories of big hunks.
Yeah,
that would be a no.
Okay, another one. That's another one from my childhood. Chomp, which is wafers and caramel. It's wafers, caramel, and chocolate. It's not the.
So it's like a Twix
tasting chocolate.
Oh yeah, is it like a Twix?
We have Twix. No, this one's Twix has more of a biscuit in it, whereas this is very much a wafer type thing. So it's very chewy.
Okay. Gotcha.
Picnic bars are another one. I should say I bought all this chocolate. I am not going to be eating all of this in one go. I'm going to shove it in my work chocolate drawer for emergencies. But
what is a picnic bar?
So picnic is peanuts, wafer, caramel, rice crisps, and it's all covered in chocolate.
It sounds delicious. That all sounds good, but I like chocolate.
It is. Yeah. And then Allen's is sort of our like lollies, so specifically candy type thing. So we call candy lollies. And this is a party mix, which was kind of like the thing that you would have growing up. So I didn't grab. They have the party mix, but they also have a retro party mix, which I probably should have got because it's funny. But this thing we have like. Bananas, snakes.
You lost me.
I was not expecting these to come out of this bag.
Yeah. Well, we said food. Black cats, which are licorice flavored and my favorite, but I know not everyone likes licorice.
No,
red frogs. Like they're just.
Are these like gummies or like a?
Yeah, they're gummy.
Gummies.
So most of them are gummies. The bananas are sort of like a. Do you guys have musk sticks or anything like that?
Are you like circus peanuts?
I don't know what they are. They're
big
chewy,
orange,
but they're
like
not soft.
spongy type things.
I don't know.
Wait, have you never had a circus
Kind
peanut?
of, kind of.
They look disgusting. No.
They're orange. They're like old lady candies. How have you never had an old lady candy?
I had
you
the strawberry ones.
Yeah.
Have you never had a Werther's original?
Yeah, most of them are squishy, but bananas are not squishy. So
that is not a gummy. I feel like I've already
but that's a party mix, so it's not one specific thing. Yeah, I don't like cherries. Wait. Very tasty.
Without them being individually wrapped, you have hard candy and gummy candy mixed together in the same bag.
It's not super hard.
May knows what I'm talking about.
Like it's soft, but it's not a gummy. I don't know what you have that's comparative. The giant, so the snake, like you have the snakes, but then you can get really long ones. And then my favorite as a kid were killer pythons, which were massive, and they were different colors. So, next time I'm at the supermarket, I'll take an actual photo of the candy section because, like you can buy, like a lot of these do come individually, but if you just wanted to buy an assortment for something and you didn't want to just have one type of thing, have the party mixes.
You made me realize I have Nerds ropes in my pantry, and I kind of want to get one. I'm gonna go do that. Be right back.
I love Nerds ropes. You finally said something correct. Nerds ropes. Amazing.
And this is my new favorite snack. So these are baked pea crisps.
We have those. Those are so good.
They're so tasty.
You said that the banana looks like a buttermint. Have you ever had a buttermint?
Are those the wedding mints?
Yes, they're the wedding mints. Exactly.
Those are so good. The only reason to go.
What do they taste like?
Mint.
They taste like mint.
I don't know what they. Okay, no, they're not minty.
But like texture-wise, it does look similar. It's not like it's almost like a hard, creamy sort of candy.
Like it's hard until you add liquid, i.e. your mouth,
right,
and then it
gets like kind of melts in your mouth as you're biting it, as you're chewing it.
Okay, I'm just going to bring one other thing up.
Like that, or not even a little bit?
Not really, I don't think so. It kind of just tastes like a sugary banana. And the other thing that I had growing up was fairy bread, which is basically butter and sprinkles on bread, and it's still delicious as an adult.
You say butter and sprinkles on bread?
I would literally never be tempted by that, but I'm happy for you.
I am also happy. I mean, to be fair, I think I eat like toast with butter and cinnamon sugar, so I guess it's similar.
Yeah.
A poor man's French toast, if you will.
Yeah. Well, maybe it is similar because like the bananas will melt in your mouth, but it's banana flavored. It's not mint. All right. Hang on. I'm trying to go back to something that was asked before.
I have 2 flavors, Heather.
Pink.
Very nice.
I saw the blue and it looked intriguing. And I have poor impulse control sometimes. Also, okay, have you ever had this? It's called chamoy.
No, I've never heard of it.
It's so good. It's like a kind of spicy tart like syrup, that you pour on fruit, like pineapples and mango mostly, or like tropical fruits.
No,
And it's
I've
really
never
good.
done that.
Well, it's going
That's
to you,
okay.
Heather, so you'll try it.
Oh, well, now I know what to put it on.
Yeah, you put on tropical fruits. I mean, I have like a full 1.5-page note going to you on things. And
Thank you. Thank you.
I need to get chamoy. It's so good. I love chamoy. This is, I'm spoiled. This is a Alamo Candy Company, which is my hometown in San Antonio. So I'm happy that they sell them here.
Nice.
Yeah. See, Izzy, it's like, it was good. It was party food when we were kids, but yes, it's still good as an adult.
Oh wait, what do you call? What do you call the fluffy, cloudy candy that is made from sugar being spun? You know what I'm talking about?
Fairy floss.
Okay, thank you.
Do
you know what I'm talking about, Heather?
Cotton candy.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I think you'll hear it called both things here, but I've always grown up with it being fairy floss. So coming back to this one, I don't watch a lot of TV. One of my favorite Australian films from years and years ago is The Dish, which is about the Parkes radio telescope, which played a part in broadcasting the moon landing. But it had a really fantastic cast. Like, it's probably 20 years old. No, it could probably be 20 years old now, maybe even older than that. I typically don't watch a lot of TV. I did like Rush when it was on. That was an Australian police procedural sort of show. Like, I'll watch things that our exports are in and celebrate the fact that they're in them. But we get a lot of international content, but a lot of the popular shows here are reality TV shows. MasterChef is massive here, and then all the other assorted shows. A lot of people like watching Married at First Sight, and I stay the hell away from it. So I'm not the best person to ask about Australian TV shows.
Okay, I want to know your favorite Australian booktubers and your favorite Australian authors.
Okay. So I started... Got to go back. So there's... Well, Bianca's in here. So Bianca's just started her booktube channel. That's My Bookworm Sanctuary. So she's been commenting. She's just started her channel. Bon Bookworms was in here. Beck from Beckle Panda was one of the first Australian booktubers that I became friends with. She's also from Victoria as well. Oh God, you're putting me on the spot. I'm going to forget people I don't mean to forget. Hang on, let me look up handles.
You can't even hear me. I muted myself. That's fine. Somebody now has 38 subscribers, so.
Very nice. Yeah, so sorry, Crystal is on book reviews. Mel
is Dusty
is another one.
A Australian booktuber or no?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
I'm really bad at remembering people.
Okay.
Bless.
It's not like I can tell.
No. The thing is, I used to have a list on my blog of Australian booktubers. I still, like, it's really old. I haven't updated. I actually need to go through and update it. So there's that.
Who was the person who she did the video on, like, it was some sort of like booktube stats video or something. Like, she did a whole like study on it. I remember you shared it.
That is, hang on. God, my memory is terrible today. No. Now I feel really bad because I'm mentally blanking.
Am I gonna have to go through all my subscriptions and try guys?
No, I will send you guys a.
So I know I subscribed.
That was Kirsty. No, that was Kirsty. So her channel is upside down books.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
Yay! See, we're everywhere.
Okay. Yes. Subscribe to her already.
Yeah. No.
All right. Who else did you say?
I'm just gonna ask you to write it down for me later because I'm gonna forget.
Wow.
Yeah. Look, this. Hang
Steph
on.
knows
This
me.
was my. This was my old list. I've got to go through it and update it. And I was actually thinking about this the other day. I've got to update the list.
I mean, that is the problem. People stop creating content and then other people start. Like, any month or year, the list is going to be different.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I because I've only just started finding more Australian content channels that are reviewing romance books. So like a lot of them I used to follow when I was reading a lot of YA and fantasy and sci-fi stuff as well. So like it's constantly changing. So if I have forgotten anyone, it's totally just my weekend before school goes back brain. So Mel is a book fiend named Mel. She's another great channel. And Ellie from Earl Grey Books is another one. Gosh. Now I feel really bad. I will update the list and I will send it to you guys.
Sweet.
I almost thought about heads up about these questions, but I was like, no, she's got this right off the top of her head. She's got it.
I like eclectic readers.
One you just said, Earl Grey or something?
Earl Grey Books.
Yeah, Earl Grey Books. It's on the booktube thing that Steph sent for her blog.
Yeah.
I'm not going to click that. I'm so sorry, but I do not do it. Do not do additional.
That's okay.
You either tell me or that's it.
Yeah, I have to have it like somewhere in writing forever, or I will forget.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Right, if I say I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm not going to do it ever. So.
And I should say I'm one of those. I have a certain amount of space in my head for names. Like I forget people that I see in person regularly because I'm always I keep a lot of kids' names in my head, and I've tried to get better. Yeah, Lauren Lullabies is another one. Although I thought she was she might be in Australia, but I thought she was New Zealand. But I could be wrong.
New Zealand's not the United States, so we'll count it for something.
Yeah.
New Zealand's great. I love New Zealand. I got neighbours.
That's why, honestly, that is why I say my name at the beginning of every BookTube video.
Yeah.
It's just like in your Instagram bio or something. I don't know your name unless I'm looking at your Instagram actively right in front of my eyes. Otherwise, I do not know your name. And I feel really bad about it because I can often remember handles a little bit better because you see that more.
Yeah.
Like, you're not in a video saying your name. I don't know your name. I could have talked to you 45 times. I don't know your name.
Yep. I know your handle or I know your picture, but I don't know your name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought she was somewhere here, but I didn't know for sure. She's also awesome. She's the host of or the creator of the readathon I'm doing this month, the Indie Accords, reading indie authors.
Oh yeah, I see that literally right on my screen. The announcement video.
Yeah. Can I say one other thing that's different? We have more colourful money than you do. Our money is very colourful.
That's
Our
true.
money sucks.
Ours is not.
Hang on.
Our money's boring. It's all green and gross.
You have one or two authors?
So authors in I know there are a lot of Australian romance authors who I haven't read. I mean, Sally Thorne and Teal.
Yeah, like Sally Thorne is the first one I thought of.
Yeah.
The only one I thought of.
The Australian romance author I started reading here was Carly Lane. She writes sort of small town rural romances. They're closed door, but they're actually quite good books.
Closed door.
I know.
Is it?
Well, I have to say that because then someone will tell me off.
You're just supposed to smile and nod politely.
That's okay. who else? So non-romance, Jane Harper is one of my favourite Australian authors. So is Matthew Riley, although he's probably a little bit problematic at the minute. But like, if you want to read a book that actually accurately describes what it is to live in certain parts of Australia, Jane Harper is amazing. Evie Mitchell is amazing. I love her, and she's so sweet. There is Bryce Courtney, although I've never read Bryce Courtney because it's not my genre.
What was the first person you said? Because my brain just went like this.
The close
Carly something.
Carly Lane, Karly Lan. I think N.R. Walker is Australian, from memory. Hang on. Let's bring up the book list with Australians. This is why I track where authors are set. Or based, I should say. Because I never remember anything. This is going to bring up all the Australian picture book writers, though. Beck McMaster is Australian. She writes paranormal or steampunky historical paranormal.
Oh yeah.
I think I've seen those.
Steph and I both like them, so you might.
Yeah, no, they were really good. Eden Finley is Australian. She writes MM Sports romances. Who else have I got? Gosh. There's a few that I've got sitting on my future TBR to read. Actually, I've just booked tickets to Rare, or the romance author and reader event that's taking place next year. Yes, Kylie Chen, Kylie Scott, Leanne Moriarty, they're all Australian. I actually haven't read Kylie Scott, and I have to because she's going to be at this event next year. Like, I literally got the list and started going down and going, I need to read all of these authors.
What is Kylie Scott famous for? I feel like
I've heard the name.
Doesn't she have Rockstar? Doesn't she have Rockstar romances?
Yeah, that might be it.
There's Lies.
Yeah.
Lies is the one that I've got on my Kindle to read.
Is Kylie Scott the one that did the romance where the spy was married to this girl, but she didn't know her husband was a spy?
Oh, maybe.
Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
I read that one. Yeah.
I don't
know
if
the author, but I read it.
I also read it.
Hang on.
Let me look.
Yeah, I was like, I'm just gonna go down my list of things I've read. Okay, cool. Thanks, Izzy.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that's right. Stage Dive.
I'm seriously wondering where I put this book. I have no idea.
Oh, apparently Stephanie Lawrence was Australian.
Yeah, Lies is the one that I was talking about. Lies is the one about the
spy. Yeah. Kerry Arthur is another one. Blood Kissed by Kerry Arthur is the paranormal one that I read. Series I started reading last year.
Okay.
And actually that one's set in Australia too. Yeah, Kerry Arthur is the one that I know. Yeah, I need to get better at finding the Australian romance authors.
I do not keep track, so even if I've read them, like Kylie Scott, I can't tell you.
Yeah, sorry. That my project for the next 6 months is to try and read more of Australian romance authors and to start actually paying a bit more attention, because I just read whatever I feel like, and I sometimes need to pay more attention than that.
Yeah, it's balance.
What else did I have? Hang on. I have to share our colourful money because it makes me happy, even if it is not as durable as your money. I think I still have a $1 note from the US sitting in my wallet. I don't know why. There you go. There's that colourful money.
It looks like
so I actually
fun money.
Yeah. So I actually know what I'm pulling out of my wallet when if I have cash on me.
We don't call it note either. We call it bill.
Yeah.
A dollar bill.
Yeah. So
dollar bills, y'all.
Yeah. So we have 5 different notes, and then we have 6 different coins, which I actually found coins, which is amazing. So we don't have dollar notes, but we have $1 and $2 coins.
Ugh, dollar coins are the worst. Because I keep thinking it's a quarter, and then suddenly all my money is gone.
That's a 50-cent coin, which is ginormous. Like our smallest coin is 5 cents.
No pennies.
No pennies.
No pennies. What a shame.
Lucky ducks.
Do you know,
I'm so sick of pennies.
I had 100 pennies left over from one of my trips, and I've taken them into school as counters because I've got no other purpose for them. So I let the kids have them. Yeah, Monopoly money. It is like Monopoly money. What was and actually the other thing, like you guys don't have your taxes the tax included in your price tags, whereas like when you go anywhere in Australia, the price that you see on a price tag is the exact price you'll pay. All of our GST is included in everything, because that was the bane of my existence when I was in the States, was having to math while shopping.
Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Like I know sometimes like Walmart, no tax will be added because they add the tax into the total.
Yeah.
Did you not? Because okay, I go to Walmart and it's like it's gonna be $6.48, and it says it like on the price tag, and I'm like, okay, $6.48 plus 0.0825 sales tax because of the state I'm in, and I was like, all right, so I'm gonna have this much money, and then I scan it, and it's like your total is $6.48, and I was like, oh, okay.
I don't know if our Walmart does that now or not. I know they didn't used to, but Pennsylvania doesn't have tax on clothing.
Mm-hmm.
See, we have tax-free weekend is coming up where you get like clothing and school supplies is tax-free for like the weekend before school starts or something, and it's the worst if you work retail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so like if I go into the supermarket, if I pick anything up, whatever the price is, so if it's $19.99, like it's $19.99 if you're paying on a card. If you're paying cash, it'll round up or down to the nearest 5. But most stuff most people don't pay with cash. Well, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people pay on card now, so it makes no difference. But yeah, things don't tend to, like, they tend to be if a lot of the price tags tend to be rounded to 95 or the dollar, rather than 99 cents. Oh, I remember it too, Bianca. So I was a kid when it happened, but I remember it. So when our goods and services tax was added, it was a big thing here. But since I've been a paying adult, paying for my own things, I haven't had to worry about it, which saves my well, today we've learnt that my brain does not function under pressure, so it's a good thing for me.
I'm now looking up what your sales tax is, Heather. I can't spell the word Pennsylvania. That's very concerning to me. There it is.
Yeah, I did talk about snakes a little bit earlier.
Pennsylvania is kind of hard unless you memorize.
Oh, hey, your sales tax is lower than mine.
Sure is. My cost of living is probably lower than yours too.
Probably not. The Northeast is higher in general.
I highly doubt my small town is more expensive than your city.
I'm in a
Highly.
small city in the middle of nowhere. I'd agree with you if I was in like Dallas, because Dallas is really expensive, and so is Houston, and so is Austin, because they're the big conglomerate rich people cities.
I have lots of family in Dallas.
That's fair. We do not have a state income tax, but our tax isn't too bad. It's 8.25%, which is, it's just weird that it's 8.25%.
Just to make it interesting for you.
Yeah.
Just trying
It's
to
not
think if
like
there's anything else on my
0.08,
list.
it's 0.0825. So every $4 you round it up 1 more cent. It's weird.
Okay.
You know, taxes are weird, man.
Yes, they are.
Taxes are weird.
I had
They
to
are.
explain to my mother that if you live in another country, you have to pay taxes to the country that you are a citizen of and the country you live in. And she could not wrap her mind around it. Like, she was like, why?
What?
Yeah, okay. So if I'm living in, like when I was living in Korea, because I'm a US citizen, I still pay US taxes. And it's because I was in Korea using Korean universal healthcare and stuff like that. You also have to pay Korean taxes.
If you're an expat, do you still have to pay American taxes?
Yep, you pay both.
That is wild. I
Because
did not know that.
yeah, you pay both because you're using the one you're living in, but because you are a part of the country previous, you could use it in the future, i.e. Medicare, Medicaid, WIC if you have children and you move back to the States, so Social Security, and which I was trying to explain to my mother. So I was like, no, like I could come back and I would still be using these things. And then she's like, well, what if you don't? And I was like, well, then you're paying for the common good of things like infrastructure and schooling and
Not the common good.
The theory is the common good. The reality is not, but that's not something we're getting into. The theory is everyone pays taxes to help other people and the like country in general. Like Texas taxes, a lot of it goes to roads, which is why Texas has one of the like best roads in the country. Our roads are amazing. And the minute you drive out of Texas, you can tell because everyone else's roads suck.
Okay, all right.
Hey, but our power grid is terrible. So
like, you got yourself in this mess.
But our power grid is terrible because we're not on a U.S. grid; we're on a Texas grid.
Yeah,
which is how I had no power for a week straight in the middle of the coldest winter on record. Yeah, roads, the only thing Texas can do right. Honestly, that and me.
The single shining star of Texas, Megan. Yeah.
Put that on my resume.
No.
Single shining star of Texas.
I did go to look up and see what doesn't actually have GST applied to it here, and it says some of this and some of that. I'm like, I'm not even going to bother. There are some things that do and some things that don't. But we don't know because just part of it.
Hey, Melissa, we live in the same place.
I think that you should tell us about voting day and sausages for anyone
yes.
who doesn't know.
Oh,
that's the thing.
All Australians vote.
The democracy sausage. Hang on, I've got to move this slightly because I'm in the glare from the window behind me. All right, so whenever we have an election, which we are, like if you're over 18, you are mandated to vote, and we can be fined if we don't vote, so we have to. If you go to a polling booth, depending on where it is, like if you're going to a small one, you won't have this, but usually if it's at a school or a some kind of club, they'll have fundraising there. So they have usually a barbecue or a cake stall or something like that. And honestly, the highlight of going to vote is if you have a place that they do have a barbecue, because then you get a democracy sausage, which is just like a barbecue sausage in bread. but you raise money for whichever thing it is. Like my school was a fundraising spot, so like we were very happy. I think they sold something like sorry, no, it wasn't. They raised about $600 on the day, and yes, they're very. And barbecue sausages are always better when you're not the one cooking them. Also, I should say that we have a like a what do you call it? Like a home improvement store chain here called Bunnings, and they're massive. And then usually outside in the car park, they have barbecue sausages. So that's the other place you go to get them, is if you're going to do your home improvements and you're buying things, you go and get a sausage as you're doing all of it. But they yes, they are the best. So, but yes, the highlight of voting is a democracy sausage, because honestly, if you're going to vote, you might as well get something out of it. Megan.
Do y'all have stock show and rodeos?
Not necessarily. I don't think we have rodeos. We do have stock shows.
What do you show? What are your livestock?
It's a good question. I've got to try and remember, because like what I've seen is usually at the Royal Melbourne Show, which is probably not the main thing, but it's probably what a lot of Melburnians would see. So the Royal Melbourne Show is like a big 2-week, well, something long event that, you know, you have rides and you have exhibits and things like that. But quite often you would have stock shows, or they also have wood chopping competitions and things like that. It would probably be, I would imagine, and do not quote me on this. Oh, we do? Oh, good. I didn't know. I haven't seen one. So
the person with the horse in their profile, I believe you.
Yeah. I would say it would probably be cattle and maybe horses. I know I knew about dressage, but I didn't know about rodeos. It must be a Queensland thing.
Rabbits, because they weren't native to Australia.
Oh yeah, they introduced rabbits.
But isn't this like a thing? Is this
so
a
many
thing?
Texans? Yeah. I love anytime I say Texas in the chat and then all the Texans come out.
Okay, you do all livestock. Okay. Yeah,
oh my God,
I'm very. Yeah, I'm very city based, so I can't comment so much on it.
I was literally going to say something about you just like being a homebody. You don't know what goes on.
I am. I'm a city lady, and when I go rural, I go to my aunt and uncle's place, and they've got a dairy farm. But
Look, the saddest thing about
I will happily plead ignorant. I'll plead ignorance on that. But yeah, like I might see it
not having rodeos. What is happening outside? Sorry, I heard a big boom, and I'm like, oh God. Yeah, my dog heard it too. He's freaking out.
Hopefully those fireworks.
I hope it was just a car.
Fireworks.
Yeah.
Do you have gun control?
Yeah. What are your guns like?
So, I think it was.
Oh, it was thunder. It's raining.
Sorry. So it's okay. I think it was in the 90s. We had the Port Arthur massacre, and then within, I think it was a couple of weeks, our Prime Minister basically had a gun callback thing in place. So there was a period of amnesty where people had to turn in their guns. So unless you had a legitimate reason for owning a gun, so there are exceptions, but people had to hand in any firearms, and like within, I forget how long it was, but look, I will say, like, our Liberal Party is not liberal. Our Liberal Party is the Conservative Party here. And John Howard was the leader of that party, but that was probably the best thing that he ever did, was we basically got rid of all the guns. We haven't had any mass shootings since then.
How long ago was that?
I think it was the early 90s. Let me go.
That would be nice.
I remember it. I remember it as a kid, but I don't remember it as something like in depth. So it was 96, I think, was when it all happened. And like, it was super fast. After that happened, they did the recall. and like I forget how many was like so many firearms were handed in, and then after that, like it's illegal for anyone to own a gun here unless you have a permit.
As someone who knows many people with gun safes, big giant gun safes, I can imagine it would be huge amount of guns.
Yeah.
Well, also I feel like Americans, like, guns are a part of the culture. Like, if you have one, you probably have multiple. It's like my husband has guns.
It's so real easy to get them.
Yeah.
Like my nephew, when my grandpa died, just got his gun. And my mom was like, yeah, you're not going to get this for a while because you are 15 years old.
Yeah.
So, like,
my husband has guns.
So he didn't need to like get a permit to buy it because he didn't buy it.
Yeah. No, as long as you get it from another person, like the government doesn't even know about it because they didn't buy it. Like they've had it in the family for like, who knows how long. Like I know he has at least a couple like that.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. We don't have any semi-automatics. So and I just looked it up. So they had 650,000 firearms turned in really quickly.
More than that in Texas alone.
Probably.
I'm sure there was more than that in just like one city in Texas. Like you just go into Houston and you're like, give me your guns.
Yeah.
Because there's like almost 2 million people living in Houston, I think.
First of all, they would literally die before they did that.
Yes.
Like it is such a strong held belief that like, give me liberty or give me death thing. It's like, no, if you try and take our guns, like that's the end. We might as well die fighting with our guns. Like that is very much a belief that is held.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a cultural thing.
It is, but we also have multiple mass shootings every single day. So
I'm not saying it's. I'm not saying it's a good thing. The one
the culture's not worth it.
Yeah, like it. Not to get like I'm not going to get political about this, but one of the weirdest things I find is that some kids and teachers have to go through metal detectors before they go to work. Like, to me, that's like it's not so much weird as mind blowing and scary. Aside from that, like I don't know if I don't think. So sorry.
You have to go through metal detectors for like sporting events and stuff. No. Or like the airport.
Airport, yes. And maybe other high security buildings.
What about just like a local courthouse or something?
Oh, they might have them, but I don't think so. Not that I've been inside. I can't comment because I haven't been inside a courthouse recently.
I know my niece
haven't been inside a sports stadium either.
My niece in high school, they had to do like clear or see-through backpacks for their school so that you could see exactly what was in there.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think it was like either that or metal detectors. So they were like, okay, we're going to try this one first and then move on. So they're like, you can't use your lockers. So the lockers were no longer allowed. And you had to have like a see-through backpack of some sort.
Yeah. So that's good at all. Weird habits or traditions. Don't know. Because if they're mine, I wouldn't think that they're weird.
Do you have any like holidays that we don't have?
That's literally where my mind went to, Megan. You and me, babe.
So they've instituted the Friday before grand final is a public holiday for Australian rules football, so AFL here in Melbourne. So we get the public holiday, no one else does, because they want to have the grand final parade and they want people to go. And the stupid thing is, well, no, it's clever on their part. It doesn't even fall during a school term. So it's in the middle of school holidays. So that public holiday is for parents. Oh, they do have them now? Yeah, I thought they would have.
Yeah, I can't say anything. We get the Day of the Battle of Flowers parade off in San Antonio, which is like the kickoff to Fiesta.
Yeah.
So it's literally just like a random day for a parade.
I don't think we have anything that's not like a federal holiday.
We have Anzac Day, which is in the first, like we have Remembrance Day in November, but that's not a public holiday. Anzac Day is a public holiday here, so that's for World War One Gallipoli landing. Yeah, I was going to say that's pretty big here.
What is that?
So the Anzacs were the Australian and New Zealand Army Corps. So they were at the landing of Gallipoli in World War One, and so on Anzac Day we remember their service, and that's a full-on one. So Remembrance Day we sort of do we have a service, and you'll stop and have a minute of silence during the day, but it's not a public holiday. Whereas Anzac Day, the whole day's off. They do all the services in the morning. I think I had in the clip, I went to the Shrine of Remembrance, so they always do a service there. And then later in the day, there's an Anzac Day football match. Basically, there's a whole big service, and they do, there's a serviceman parade there, I think, as well. So like that's a massive thing. Sorry?
Where was that battle?
Isn't it Turkey? Gallipoli. And Turkey. So that was the landing of Gallipoli, which is sort of our involvement in World War One, or the most known one.
Mm-hmm.
So we have little most suburbs, I want to say, have a little sort of spot somewhere in them, either in a park or a garden or something like that, which has the names of the soldiers that were from that part of Victoria. So they usually have a service there. So where I live, there's one right up the road. And it's at the middle of an intersection, and they literally stop traffic everywhere for a dawn service. And then they do a parade down through the main street. Hang on, what have I missed?
Just talk about holidays.
I'm just trying to think of anything else that's specific to us. We have Queen's Birthday, which is not actually anywhere near the Queen's Birthday, but that's a public holiday.
That's funny.
Because we're not a monarchy until we have a public holiday, and then yay, let's celebrate the Queen. Or at least that's my take on it.
Don't y'all have it's like the Olympics, but it's just for the countries that were owned by the
Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like the Olympics, but just slightly scaled back.
Yeah. So like it's just like Britain, Canada, Australia.
Canada? Why is Canada in it?
There's a Commonwealth.
They're ruled by
they're part of the Commonwealth.
Queen.
Yeah, because they're Commonwealth.
Yeah. Wow.
Like we would probably be included too if we didn't have our revolution.
Colonizers.
Yeah, I was going to say, most towns in Australia have a memorial somewhere. What else? So we have the Commonwealth Games. Again, you could ask me when the Olympics are on, because I very rarely turn on my TV and I ignore any sporting events. I'm like, is it a Commonwealth year? Is it an Olympics year? I've got no idea. Which is ironic because, this is a very sports obsessed town.
I'm pretty sure I only heard about it because I used to watch like random sport YouTubers.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very similar.
Whatever's interesting at the time, okay?
Oh, you're such a weirdo.
And that's fair enough. Aside from, I know May asked what I find weird about America. Like, I don't find a lot of things weird because I'm like, well, if that's weird, then like it's weird in reverse.
Right.
I get you.
And I'm very much live and let live.
It's like
sorry. Yeah.
When you went to America, what was a thing that you found like different or weird that we did? Or did someone call you weird?
Like for me it was mostly having to figure out how much I was paying for things. And it wasn't so much as converting it in my head to what it actually what it actually costs me, because of the currency conversion, just more having to work out taxes, because it wasn't something I'd had to do before.
Right.
No, I don't think the thing is, I suppose I've grown up in a very multicultural city, so I'm used to lots of different cultures being sort of day-to-day things with friends when I was growing up in school, or just friends now, and the kids that I teach, and like going into this, like even when going to eat and things like that, like it was never, oh look, that's strange that's there. It's like, oh, okay, that's just part of what's here, because I'm used to having a lot of variety anyway. But I suppose like when you're traveling though, like you don't eat properly when you're traveling, so you never find the right things, like, because there would be places over there that I would eat exactly what I would eat here for the most part, but you don't necessarily find them because you're always in really high touristy areas, especially when I was traveling. So like food was a little bit strange, but that's only because I was eating a lot of takeaway stuff rather than proper meals.
What was the weird food that you had?
Not weird as in weird
No
food,
one's
but just
gonna judge you for calling it
No. And that's the thing. I'm trying to remember it.
Your food is perfect.
I can't help it.
I just wasn't used to it at the time. We got it.
Well, no, it's not weird. It's not weird because like I've eaten pizza before, but it was just, American, like if I was in New York.
Wait, how do you? Okay, no, I believe this because I've had pizza from different countries. How do y'all do your pizza?
I mean, look, pizza's pizza, but I suppose your pizzas are massive. Also, there was weird toppings on your pizzas over there.
What is a weird?
I can't remember what the weirdest. I can't remember what it was exactly, because a girlfriend and I we were over there and we just decided to get a couple of slices of pizza, and she saw something really strange, and I know because I didn't eat it, and we're just like,
I'm gonna start naming off toppings now.
I know, I honestly, this is like we're talking 12 years ago, so my brain.
No, you're good, but now I want to see what's weird. Okay,
we have pepperoni
we
pizza.
have black olives.
We can have black olives. I don't eat them, but
mushrooms.
We have them here. Yeah, that's on pizza.
Pineapples.
Yeah, I have pineapple on pizza.
Anchovies.
Yeah, we have that here. No, do you know what it was? I think there was a sweet pizza. I think that's what it was, and there was something weird.
Do you have banana peppers on pizza?
That's my
favorite.
We
don't. Maybe that's
my
what
favorite.
Oh, we have things in common.
We do. Literally, I don't know anyone else who loves banana peppers on their pizza.
So good.
It's my favorite thing. We also have meatballs. Can you do meatballs on pizza?
I think you can get them. I don't think it's a common one with the pizza shops that I have near me. It's not a common thing, but I think you can get it.
Do you have
stores all close at 5?
I know, that's the one that I was shocked by.
I'm staring at it too.
So it depends what the store is. Supermarkets are open later. Things tend to be open later on Thursdays and Fridays, and but yeah, a lot of things close around 5:30.
Our stores are open till like 9 or 10 or 24 hours.
Yeah, I hate this town because things are closed by like 9 p.m. for the most part. And I'm like, I need a big city where things don't close until at least midnight.
Yeah. We have some places that might be open longer, but like while I was growing up, like nothing would be open on Sundays. Like everything would be shut.
But literally,
except maybe like the fish
that are closed on Sundays.
Closed on Sundays here are ones that are owned by like religious people.
Liquor stores, because we're not allowed to sell liquor on Sunday, and Chick-fil-A.
We are. We didn't used to be, but we are allowed to sell alcohol.
We're allowed to sell beer and wine after 12 p.m., but we can't sell liquor at all on Sunday.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't actually drink, so I mean, I don't know.
May, Izzy, and Bree, you all are allowed to still be my friends. I'm glad. You're welcome.
Do you have buffalo chicken pizza?
I don't know. What does that mean? Probably
It's
not.
like
It's
chicken
hot sauce and ranch.
with
I
cheese.
don't think so.
Do you have buffalo chicken?
Like buffalo.
Do you have buffalo?
not
Oh yeah, do you have
buffalo
buffalo wings?
No. Or if we do, we don't call it that.
Wow, it's like a red, mildly spicy wing sauce.
Like an orange, mildly spicy
Okay.
sauce.
Yeah. It's probably a better
It's
description.
not
I'm gonna have to
something
like send you a bottle of like Frank's
That
Red
is
Hot.
like a Frank's Red Hot. A staple.
I'm gonna have to send you Frank's. It's just gonna be like a giant bubble wrapped thing of Frank's
else. Yeah.
Or
from Costco.
do you like spicy things at all, Steph? Steph, do you like spicy things at all?
I'm not a super spicy person. So
Have you had a banana pepper?
no, I don't know what that is.
Okay.
They're more sweet.
They look like a banana. They're like a long yellow pepper, and then you like cut them in slices.
Okay.
Have you had pepperoni
Oh, yeah,
peppers?
okay.
They're
I know.
similar in taste.
To what?
Pepperoncinis.
Oh yeah.
No, unless we call them something different. Like we have peppers here, but I don't know the specific names of them.
There's a lot of different types of peppers. Do you have ranch?
Yeah,
I love that question.
You have ranch.
That's the important question. Do you have ranch?
I think so.
The answer is
It's
that
not-
immediately yes.
The answer is not immediate. It's like you
cannot
don't
go
know
in
if you
someone's
have
house.
ranch.
Like, if a restaurant has two salad dressing options, one of them is ranch.
The other one's usually blue cheese.
Or Italian. I feel like Italian and
true.
ranch are very common up here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like all get together and curate a box of things that we never thought that you needed to experience.
I can't believe.
It's gonna have a glass
What the
jar of
buffalo
the
chicken?
banana
It sounds more than what I'd have to send to taste from Australia.
All right.
Jeez.
We
The
have
glass jar of
buffalo
banana peppers.
chicken pizza, buffalo chicken wings, buffalo chicken dip, buffalo chicken fries.
Buffalo sauce is basically just like a big thing here, and you don't think about it.
Okay.
Also, like, I'm a few hours away
Fair
from
enough.
Buffalo. So, like, obviously it's
I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm from a place that we do a lot of hot sauce.
Basically here you have two choice. Like there are other sauces, but tomato sauce or barbecue sauce is pretty much your two main ones.
Wait, what kind of barbecue sauce?
That's all the options you
No, it's not. They're not the only options, but they're the main two choices. That
have. Okay,
people
by
probably
tomato
Ketchup?
sauce, do you mean
You have
ketchup?
Yeah, ketchup is tomato sauce.
No, it's not. Tomato
Wait,
sauce.
no, it's not.
is
Tomato
marinara.
sauce is tomato sauce. Ketchup is ketchup.
No, sorry. We have tomato sauce that is ketchup, and then you have tomato sauce that goes in pasta. We just call them both the same thing, and you know the difference depending on what context you're talking in.
No, one is
No.
marinara sauce or spaghetti sauce.
Yes.
If you're... and the other's ketchup. It's always
Yeah.
ketchup. There's no
Tomato sauce
alternative.
is quite literally like crushed tomatoes in a can.
Mhm.
Oh no, that's tinned tomatoes.
What? No. This is blowing my mind that ranch
Wait,
is not
what?
like a staple in your life.
Banana capsicum.
Probably because
Don't
it's
have
yellow.
ranch in restaurants? Wait. Go back to that. What is Fime, Coles, and Woolies? What is that?
Oh, so there are two supermarkets. So we have Coles, which is one of our big supermarket chains, and Woolworths, which is the other Woolies. Told you we shorten everything. We don't
Coles and
like saying the
Woolies?
full name.
Okay.
So funny.
Oh
So
yeah, but going back
where
to
I
Bree's
and
question on the salad dressings.
Okay,
Oh,
and do
yes,
you
so
have
it's-
mustard?
We have mustard. So I think
What kind of
I
mustard?
think this
Yellow mustard, brown
There's lots.
mustard.
Spicy mustard? Honey mustard?
we have honey mustard. We
Whole grain
normal
mustard?
There's whole grain mustard. There's Dijon mustard.
Do you have like French's yellow mustard, like the kind you put in corn
Yeah.
dogs?
Yeah. We have all of those.
They're not.
But
I think this is. I think. Well, no, they said there is ranch. I don't get out a lot, guys, honestly.
That you don't eat ranch on at least a weekly basis is weird to me.
It's also weird to me. We have ranch in our fridge at all times.
All times.
It is a necessity condiment along with ketchup and mustard.
Mm-hmm.
Good to know. So the salad dressings, you have Italian, French, you'll have any other variations on that sort of thing. Like I don't buy
French
salad dressings
red?
anymore. Right?
Do you do balsamic?
Sorry.
Is your French
Yeah, we have
red?
balsamic vinegar.
Is your French orange? Your French is red?
No.
Yeah,
kind
we
of
have red
yellowy
and
orange.
and we have Catalina.
No, there's one
Oh.
French and it's orange and it looks very, very similar to the secret sauce that they put on Big Macs.
I
Mm-mm.
clearly
We have
did not
two
spend enough
French.
time in the supermarket for this chat. Like I mostly make my own salad dressing, which is basically olive oil, vinegar, and I'll pick either white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, balsamic vinegar, or something else.
That sounds
Mix
so
it all up and then.
Brie.
And
Outback
well,
steak.
I always have it. It doesn't take very long. So like, and I prefer the taste of that because it's all fresh stuff. I don't like buying stuff that's in bottles because I don't go through it often enough. But I have everything else that I use for cooking. So like I do a really basic Italian dressing because that's what I grew up with mum's side of the family. So that's probably what I'm used to. Yes, that's all the tomato stuff. Okay, so the capsicum. Yeah, so some of our peppers are capsicum.
I do not know what that word is.
Yeah.
I've never heard that word in my life.
A lot of our food is Asian inspired now. We have a lot of Asian fusion stuff going on. Sorry. It is like ketchup and tomato sauce. There is a slightly different taste to it. But
Is pies pizza?
No. So well,
We're
again,
thinking apple
depends
pie.
what depends
I can tell
what
you right now, we're thinking like apple cherry pecan pie.
Yes, we have those pies, and then we have meat pies, which can be large, like a sweet pie, but is filled with meat, or we can have them as smaller sizes, so that you might.
Oh, like in Sweeney Todd,
single serve?
where they cut up
Yeah.
people and put them in pies. Okay.
Yes, but we don't put people in pies.
Are you sure?
And then you can get party. Yes, we can get party pies, which are about yay big, so they're even smaller. But then you might have a shepherd's pie, which isn't completely covered in crust. It's just meat.
Oh, it's covered
with
in mashed
potato
potatoes,
over the
right?
top. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
shepherd's
like
pie.
we have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're all called pie, but again, you have your sweet pies, you have your savory pies, and then you have pie dishes, I suppose.
Do your shepherd's pie, do they have vegetables in it? Because ours does.
Yeah, you can put whatever you want in it.
Yeah.
Like it's not typically full of veggies, but it's mostly meat. But you can put, like, I grew up having veggies in it because that's how mum got us to eat veggies.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have an Outback.
Wasn't
Steakhouse
Outback Steakhouse made by an American who went to Australia and then tried to mimic Australian food in America?
Wow.
I feel like that's what it was, or something like that.
Wow.
It's something weird like that.
I'm affronted that you would think that an American would do such a thing.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like that at all.
So fun fact about Woolies or Woolworths here in Australia, it used to be called Safeway, and then it changed names to match, I think, the rest of the country. Anyway, those are our supermarkets, and then we have Aldi. So we have Aldi here, and
We have Aldi.
then we have specialty supermarkets.
We call it different though. How do you say it, Steph?
Aldi.
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 Now say
That is
Aldi's.
Aldi. That
say aluminum.
we say our vowels. Aluminium.
Say herb.
Aluminum?
I just like hearing people go
Now-
curbs and aluminium and schedules.
Schedule.
Someone said something and it made me question things. What was it? I don't remember.
Oh my god, so much easier to make your own salad dressing. I'm trying to catch up here. Okay. Lots of people make their own dressing.
Oh, mustard. You call yellow
nuts.
mustard American mustard?
Yeah, I think there are some that are called American mustard. Probably because you guys have it in your hot dogs.
Probably because most countries don't have yellow mustard.
Yeah.
I wonder where we got it from.
So we have tomato paste here, which is a much thicker, like tomato sauce concentrate, which we put on pizzas.
Yes.
Or
We get that, but you don't put it on things directly. You like use it as an ingredient to make it.
You'll typically like thin it out with water to make tomato sauce.
Right. It's poor man's tomato sauce.
Yeah. No, we can put it in tomato sauce, but like I'll put it on a pizza base as well and just spread it out thinly.
Wait, with no seasoning added though? It's just
no, I'll add other things on top of it.
Wait, do you have tomato bouillon?
I don't know.
Garlic salt.
Garlic salt.
Yes, we do have garlic salt. Yeah, party pies and mini
corned
volcanoes.
beef hash.
What is that?
No.
You don't have corned beef hash? It's a can, and it's like little itty bitty chopped potatoes and corned beef, and you eat it with breakfast. You eat it with like a over easy egg on top of it, and ketchup because we eat ketchup on breakfast food over here.
You lost me at the beginning of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
First of all, my husband like grew up on it, and the first time he like asked me to make it, I was like, I'm not making that. That looks disgusting. And he was like, no, it's really good. So I like threw it in the pan and dumped like so much stuff on it. Like,
but like
so much seasoning. And then like the smell of it, like once it started cooking and no longer looked like dog food, then I was like, this doesn't smell that bad. This like smells pretty good. And now I'm a fan, but when I tell you I was very skeptical initially.
To be fair, I have tortillas, chorizo, and refried beans waiting for me for our Sunday morning breakfast. So
yeah, that is
weird thing
here at all.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to answer these. Two questions. I do like pirates, but I don't know any actual pirates. And g'day, mate. I did say that earlier, but hello. I love that I'm being asked questions.
I feel like American Australian accents, like attempted Australian accents, are much more exaggerated.
I also like that they say gotta throw some shrimp on the Barbie when it's prawns.
Prawns,
right?
Yeah. Brie, I can't even fake a really ochre Australian accent, so no, I can't do an American. You missed this earlier when I tried. I can do like little parts of Australian slang, sort of.
She's too classy for us with her posh Australian accent.
But also, I can't wrap my brain, because half the time I'm like, do I sound Australian? I know I do, but it's like, what even is accents?
Can you make like a valley accent? Like, oh my God. Like that one that all people use when they pretend to be Americans.
Oh my God.
Yay!
Okay.
I love it.
That's awesome. We don't have Kmart anymore.
They closed all our Kmarts down.
Rude. I do like Kmart. I was supposed to go to Kmart when I got my hair done, but my hair took all day, so I didn't get to go to Kmart.
That's sad.
There you go. I tried. I think it like Australian accents are more pronounced, like standard Australian accents are more pronounced, like when we say anything with a lot of vowel sounds, like LD and things like that, because we stress our vowels differently to the US. But yes, aluminium is my favorite one.
Aluminium.
Aluminium.
Aluminum.
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 Aluminum. I'm just trying to think what some of the other words are. I can like you can be really like you can stress things. I suppose you can go banana, and that's a bit more
banana.
Yeah, banana.
I went straight country with that when I tried to do that. The
banana. I don't know. I don't know what the other. Like, I used to know which words sound different, but yeah.
Can you say throw some prawns on the Barbie?
Oh my god.
Sorry.
Throw some prawns on the Barbie.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yes, I have to show some restraint when I go to certain places. I don't think anything's super weird. Sometimes it's more just a case of figuring out what it is in context, and then it's not weird anymore. But I can't think of any specific examples. Oh, was that me? Okay. All right. Oh, garage.
Garage.
Instead of garage.
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 The cheapy mustard.
It is the cheapy mustard. Yellow mustard is mustard. Yeah, they're not spelled the same. We took the I out of aluminum.
Aluminum.
We also took the U out of color.
That's true.
Yes. And the extra E out of theater. Well, I guess we switched the E and the R in theater. Because it's THEATER instead of RE.
Yeah. It's funny. I was so I've been doing a lot of reading around phonics and phonics instruction and spelling and things like that. And a little bit was on the history of why the spellings are different in different places. And some of it's just because we wanted to be different.
Yeah.
That's just the evolution of the word, is we wanted to separate some of the American spellings. We wanted to separate from the UK. So we removed some things, and then that's why it stayed in other places. It was really interesting.
How do you spell the word gray?
I spell it EY.
Like a greyhound. We do it AY.
Yeah.
Now we do it both ways.
I flip between it's whatever my mood is.
To be honest, I accept both. If the kids are spelling it, I accept both. Because they'll see it both ways, and they're more likely to see AY as they get older. That's because, like, if you ask an Australian a direct question, we'll probably answer with some version of no. So how are you? Not bad. How you going? Not bad. Where you go? Oh, how far away is it? Not far. Like, that's a very typical thing. But yeah, how do you guys use no worries?
Don't stress. No worries. It's no big deal. No problem.
Yeah, or like if someone's like, "Oh my God, thank you," it's like, "Oh, no worries. Like, don't worry about it." Like, literally.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we use it. The boot of a car.
Ours is a trunk.
A trunk.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you call the exercise where you do this and you jump in the air?
Star jumps.
Jumping jacks.
Yeah, ours is jumping jacks.
I think some people do call them jumping jacks, but I've grown up star jumps.
What is your playground equipment called?
Play equipment?
No, each individual piece.
Oh, slide, swing, monkey bars.
Monkey bars.
My husband grew up 3 hours away from here, and everyone in his town calls a slide a sliding board. And he said something about a sliding board like when we were dating, and I was just dying of laughter. I had no idea
that
what
sounds like a torture device.
It's a slide.
It's a slide.
Sliding
board sounds like a torture device.
Yeah.
Star jump makes more sense because you make a star when you jump.
Yeah.
I think we call.
And actually, that is another one. Yeah, no. The other. Yeah. You ask a question, you'll get it. Yeah, no.
What does that mean?
What is it?
Well, it means you've heard the question. The yeah is, yeah, I've heard the question. And then the no is, I've actually listened to the question and processed what you've asked me. And the answer is no.
I say it differently. Like, it wouldn't be yeah, no, it would be yeah, no.
Yeah, nah, yeah. Yeah, that's very Australian.
Is it a shopping cart?
Oh yeah, the cart that you
trolley. Trolley.
What about a stroller? Like a baby stroller?
Pram or pram
Ooh,
or
pram.
We do have strollers. Pram, stroller.
So old fashioned. I feel like that's like a Victorian era.
What do you call
It is,
the
but
thing
they're not the old
channel
fashioned
on
ones.
TV?
They're just a remote.
Okay. I also call it a remote or remote control. But I know some people call it a clicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we call it remote though.
It's funny. A lot of people call when you're doing a presentation and you've got the little remote to move the slides forward. They just go, use the clicker. I'm like, you mean the remote?
That one I do call a clicker because the only thing you do is click through. But remotes control things, which is why it's a remote control.
My husband calls the remote the controller, and it drives me nuts because I'm
I know what a controller is. That's what you play video games on.
Exactly. They are not the same. You can't just use the same word for both because that's not what you mean. You mean one or the other.
Yeah, Melissa. Some people do. I don't. But
some
people do.
Some places the see you next Tuesday, and then the the twit with an A, people will just use real casually in places that are not here.
Yeah.
I use TWAG casually, so that's awkward.
I did sometimes, and then someone was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Bless your heart." And then I moved on. So
casual swearing is a big part of
twerk.
Twerk?
No.
Twerp. Do you guys
twerk?
No.
Like a bratty.
I feel like that. I feel like it was used a lot, sort of when I was growing up, but not so much anymore. You're more likely, to hear other things, I suppose.
What?
Yeah.
Is bogan life?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that sentence.
Me either.
So I think I don't know. Maybe Bianca can explain it more, but it's kind of like when you think of your stereotypical Aussie that is portrayed sort of in media.
Yeah.
So the throw the shrimp on not the shrimp part, but the throw the shrimp on the Barbie. Like Steve Irwin. I don't know if you guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I feel like that's like the only Australian we know.
Yeah. So, but Steve Irwin, insert much more swearing. Kind of conversation. I feel like that's probably the best way to describe it. We joke a lot about bogan life, but I love it. One of my aunts is very much a bogan, and I love her.
I still don't
plays it up a lot.
So saying like they're a bogan is kind of like saying, oh, they're such a valley girl, or oh, they're such a surfer dude, but like specific to
like that's specific to a group of people with it's like a cliche. Yeah, but it's sweary and lots of slang. Very sweary.
Sweary, not sweaty. Probably both if it's like in the middle of summer. Sweary and sweaty.
Probably. Okay. Yeah, all the
I don't know what below deck is.
I'm not sure either, but I'm assuming that's because all the Australians are trying to escape Australia after being in lockdown for 2 years. Believe me, everyone's trying to get out.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, definitely. I love bogans. They're fun. All right. This has definitely gone on a lot longer than I thought it was going to go on.
You're welcome.
This is about right.
I feel like Megan and I have single-handedly contributed to that factor.
I love it. Well, we got through We did get through all my questions, which is good. Yeah, I was going to say it must be a.
I didn't know there was a show like that.
I am curious
Something new to look
what
up, Megan.
your predominant religions are.
I would say Catholic and Muslim now. Oh, sorry, Catholic/Christian. I know they're different, but collectively, I'd say that's probably the biggest group, and possibly Muslim.
Is Australia mostly unreligious or mostly very religious, or kind of split?
It used to be very religious, but it's gone, like, in terms of public support for religion, I feel like that's dropping off. And I have a feeling in our last census it was on a sort of a downward spiral. That, like, there are religious people, but I don't tend to think people are as overtly engaged in that in public as much. They might be religious in sort of in their environment and with their community, rather than it being a big out there thing. But again, don't quote me. Like, I was raised Catholic, and like anytime we have family events on mum's side, because they were Italian Catholics, or are, I shouldn't say were, they are Italian Catholics. Like, family events, weddings, and we have baptisms, and like all of that takes place in church. So I'm still involved in that, and I consider myself religious without, like, it's not a huge day-to-day part of my life, that sort of thing. But yeah, I went through Catholic primary schools and secondary schools.
But you would still identify as Catholic.
I would, but I'm a very bad Catholic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and that would have been the majority religion, even 20 years ago. But I don't feel like that's the case now. But I mean, I could be wrong. Like, I'm trying not to generalize too much.
What about like racial minorities? Like, are you a pretty evenly split country, or not so much? Like, here, I know, like, the majority is white, and then everybody else is mixed in like 40%.
I think, like, we still have a lot of white people, but I think that now we have a lot of it. Like, I mean, we're an immigrant country. Like, we have a huge population of immigrants, and second and third generation who would still class themselves as belonging to that group as well. So I think it's a real mix, which is great. It's amazing. And I mean, even thinking, like, I still think we're probably skewed on the European side of immigrants. But I think that's definitely changing. Look, the area I live in is predominantly white, but that's, like, we've definitely had an influx of other cultures and groups coming in the last.
I was going to ask if
like, closer to the city
country, are wildly different, or not really.
Yeah, I think there's a good. I was wondering whether that would be a good analogy. Brogan is Australian for redneck. I was
thinking redneck. I just didn't want to be like, is it rednecks?
we're so polite. Yeah, more traditions over religion these days.
San Antonio is a very diverse city.
Yeah, some areas are more diverse than others.
We are not diverse at all.
Yeah.
At all. Like, our town is probably 99.9% white. And then, like, there's a town like 25 minutes away. That's where the majority of the Black people in the area live. Like, it's not that you will never see anybody that's not white in our town, but, like, it's 99.9% white.
My high school was like a third white, a third Latin of some sort, and then a third Black. And then we had like a little of everything else kind of sprinkled in. We didn't have a whole lot of Asian representation, but we had some.
Yeah.
See, here, no joke, you are almost never going to see an Asian or a Latin person unless you're in that restaurant. Like, that's where you'll see the workers, and that's like it's not a diverse area at all. In fact, my sister lives like 30 minutes from me. Her neighborhood is very diverse, which I don't know if you guys saw my Instagram stories. I was posting about groceries. Like, I got all that at her Walmart. Like, her Walmart has all these different products that like mine does not have, like, at all. It doesn't carry.
Yeah.
I'm Western. I'm 20 minutes from the Ohio border, so I'm by Pittsburgh rather than Philadelphia.
This is a good point. Like, Sydney does have a large Asian population. We have a large Greek, even Italian population, I would say. That said, I work I work near a major hospital, so we get a lot of international doctors and nurses coming in through rotation from different places. So I feel like we have, like, our school is still predominantly white, but I think we have a higher Asian population compared to that. And where my parents are, so the suburb I'm in at the moment, is very, very high Asian population.
Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think that, like, American hospitals, like, you only cycle people through the United States system. It's not like from outside the country that you would.
Yeah, unless they're trying to get their license inside the U.S., then they would cycle in the U.S. But we don't.
Like starting over, isn't it?
Yeah,
like not completely, but almost.
They have to do the tests and then residencies again, but I don't think they have to, like, go through full med school again.
Yeah, no, and I don't think they have to do that here. So some of them choose to do a couple of years in hospitals over here. I don't know if it works in the reverse. Actually, I'll have to ask my sister. She's a nurse, but we have a lot of Asian, or doctors of Asian and Indian descent over here as well. But we are very close to Southeast Asia, so we get we get a lot of people from there.
Yeah, countries work differently, though. I know one of my mom's friends was from Mexico City, and he did his, like, schooling in America because it looks better to have your American credentials than it would to have Mexican credentials, even though you were going to be practicing in Mexico.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not that's correct, but I understand the.
Yeah. And we do get a lot of international students as well. Or, well, we did. So I don't know how the last couple of years have affected that. But a lot of international students coming in. Some study and stay here, some study here and go back.
Yeah.
I am curious if, like, your Asian fusion, Italian fusion, foods are completely different from ours.
Oh yeah, your takeout Chinese food. What is it?
Right. Yeah.
Hang on. Let me see if I can find a menu.
When America did the I forget the actual name of it, but basically, like, the anti-Chinese act, like, they didn't let any Chinese immigrants in and stuff. And they did the whole thing with, like, the replacement theory and the riots and stuff with the gold mines and, like, kicking out all the Chinese miners because white miners said they were taking their jobs, etc. One of the very few things that Asian people could do was have a laundromat or a Asian restaurant. And obviously an Asian restaurant is going to have to use only the ingredients that are available to them. So, like, Asian American food is like a whole developed thing that they did, and it was so good. They were literally able to sell it to businesses too.
Internationally, American Chinese food is classified as American Chinese food because in Korea they had Chinese restaurants and then they had American Chinese restaurants.
Yeah, so I think we have a lot more of the ingredients that they would probably use. So I think ours is probably more close to traditional.
Ooh, quail.
I feel like if we're going to have Asian seafood, it's probably just shrimp, maybe some crab, but probably shrimp.
Yeah.
These all look delicious. Can I order some?
Yeah.
Literally all
might
of
be
this
cold
looks
by the time I get here.
different from my restaurant.
Like this is a restaurant rather than a takeout place, but like the takeout places are very similar.
You have a lot of birds.
Yeah.
Like there's duck and squab and quail, and I'm like, we don't have nearly as many birds.
Yeah, Megan, tell me if yours is different, but
there's a seafood.
Our meat would only be chicken or beef or shrimp.
For the most part. For the most part, it's chicken, beef, or shrimp.
Only those four.
I think the only exception would be dumplings / wontons, and then if you get like lo mein noodles, you can get it with like cheap pork, basically.
Yeah, right. Like we get a lot. Like we have a lot of fresh seafood. I mean, we live right.
You can get sweet and sour pork.
Also,
we get sweet and sour pork.
I feel like bean curd is not.
That's not a thing
on our menus at all.
That is not a thing.
Yeah.
And calamari is really not either. Maybe a little bit. But
calamari is on an Italian menu. It's not on a Chinese menu.
It's like a fried ring that you serve with a spicy ranch or
we do have calamari rings here. That is something that you would get in a
marinara sauce, a tomato sauce, if you will.
I can't say tomato sauce. Like you might think I'm talking about pizza sauce and or ketchup.
We have to specify. Yeah, look, I think our Chinese is relatively authentic. We have a lot of Greek and Italian places here, and all the food's always amazing.
Have, like Mexican food
I've got. I do. I haven't. There's actually a Mexican place on my street, but I actually haven't been there yet. It's, but I don't know what the quality is. I think I did have some Mexican food when I was.
Maybe not. I don't know. People have odd usernames.
It's okay.
Be wrong.
It's all good. Yeah, I think, and it also just depends where you go. Like,
do you have Taco Bell?
I don't think we do anymore.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell.
I don't think. Apparently, we still do, but like 3 places in Victoria.
What is different about your McDonald's than like American McDonald's? Do you have any like specialty McDonald's?
Do you guys do frozen Cokes?
No.
You mean like ices?
Like a slushie?
We call it slushies.
Yes, we have them.
Okay.
So like do you have any like special?
Not in like a McDonald's though.
Surf and turf. My McDonald's does, but it's hotter here.
Yeah, so we have frozen Coke and raspberry frozen raspberry Coke.
We have like the Minute Maid ones right now in our McDonald's. So it's like the peach Minute Maid and the blue raspberry and lemonade.
We have a Dr. Pepper one, not a Coke one, at our McDonald's because we're Texas.
We don't have a cola one. We don't.
The Target has ices. I go into the Target and I'll just get a Coke icy sometimes when I'm having a hard day at work.
Yeah,
Target doesn't have that. Our Target has
y'all
Starbucks.
have a McCafe, right? Like legitimately a cafe attached to your McDonald's that is McDonald's cafe.
No, we just have things that are labeled McCafe.
No. Steph does. I've seen it. We don't. Steph does.
Yeah.
Oh.
How do let's see. I'm just trying to think.
Same
you go
stuff.
into your settings on your YouTube studio if you want to add Brie.
Okay.
Izzy tried to talk me through it one time, and literally none of the things she said would be there were there, so we got nowhere.
Oh, okay.
I do love boba. Boba's good.
I love boba.
We just got a Gongcha down the street, and I'm so happy because that's like a worldwide company, so they make good stuff.
Nice.
I'm not saying being worldwide means you make good stuff. I'm just saying we didn't have a whole lot of pickings out here until that one came in.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if
I forgot y'all call it Macca's.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, they call McDonald's Macca's. See, try your Macca's.
I have the menu. Yeah.
Very odd.
Why?
Is this because you shorten everything?
We do shorten everything.
You know what? You know who's
There you go. Yes, we've got. There you go. There's the McCafe.
The Australiano.
My mom's from Oklahoma, and she shortens everything. Like she calls pizza za.
It's so annoying. I found the menu just before and I've lost it.
Or guac.
We have anyway.
Guac.
I said guacamole.
We have.
I also say jalapenos because they think it's funny. So jalapenos and tortillas.
Do you guys have
tortillas?
The Ronald McDonald House charity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so in Japan they had like a teriyaki burger, and in Korea they had a like sweet and spicy burger that like used like a special sauce that like is only in Korea.
Yeah. All right. Hang on.
These names though.
Yeah. Might almost be time to wrap this up.
When all the spam bots come in, it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Oh, Bree, I think I've added you as a moderator.
Bree, say something in the chat and I can tell you because it'll have the little wrench next to it.
Yet.
Anyway, do you guys have fillet of fish?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
I don't see a wrench by Brie.
Nope.
Oh, now I do. I do on my phone.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Yay. Okay. I did the right thing. Woo.
Yep.
So how did you do that? I really need to know.
Look, McDonald's went through a period here where like they now have healthier options. So they have wraps and they have other options. It's like
we had that.
McDonald's. If I wanted to get a wrap, I'd go somewhere else. But that's just me. Thanks for joining. Happy birthday to you.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Tiny.
Oh,
nope.
Nope.
I simply cannot imagine spending my life as a troll.
No, neither.
Bots. Like I literally cannot fathom spending 20 seconds on it.
And it's the same person making like new profiles, which is just so.
Who's got the time to do that? But now it's not letting me block them, so I'm assuming because Bree is possibly doing something. Anyway, maybe we should wrap this up.
Well, Putin entered the chat. We got to wrap things up.
No time for Putin.
Downhill.
Thanks, Bree.
You the best.
Yeah, they all got deleted on the main.
Mm-hmm.
It's just still showing up on ours, but we're good on the main.
StreamYard, yeah.
Oh, now Bree, because I did do this for you and you were away before. This is the pineapple.
It's not the pineapple, sweetie.
No, not pineapple. Oh my god. Passion fruit. See, I've lost it. That's another sign that we need to go.
I was like, is this an inside joke that I'm not aware of?
Yeah, why do we let me on live things, honestly?
Because you make everything better.
You do. You're a ray of
Thanks
sunshine.
for joining me. This was a lot of fun.
Thanks for putting up with us.
No, thanks for hanging out with me. I was literally going to be, actually, I don't know where, I know where Benny's gone. Hey. He's literally perching up on the couch. Can you come and say goodbye to everyone?
What a cutie pie. Oh, the puppy. Waiting for my dog.
He's been sulking in his bed.
Now he's asleep.
Oh. Yeah. Say goodbye. There we go.
Bye, Peppers.
What a cutie pie.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining.
It has definitely been fun. Weirdo.
All right, then.
All right. I hope everyone has a really good night. And I think the next time we're on a live show is next week, and we're on Izzy's channel.
Oh crap, I need to read the second book.
Yes, you do.
I forgot.
I had no idea what you were talking about there for a minute. I was like,
yeah, no, that's why I was like, what are you talking about? And then like, oh, books. I read the first one and I loved it, and now I don't want to read the second one because I'll have to wait forever for the third one.
We're supposed to be getting arcs, and I have not seen mine yet. I can tell you that.
I mean, I have also not seen mine.
I am supposed to be reading Inextricably Tied for a vlog, and then after that, I'm gonna read both books back to back.
Yeah, me either. Bree and I are going to be starting the last Ardents and Ives book by Alexis Hall, so I'm excited to get to that today.
Nice.
What are you doing? All right, yeah, I'm going to end the live show. So true. Have a good night, and thanks for joining, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone.